Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Trovo Challenge. I'm Lee D-Man Smith, and joining me, Vansili. It's Vansili. We're casted together. So it's Team Sportscast Network from what, 18 years ago or something like that?
At least. I don't know, man. I think it was the last time we casted was like what, enemy territory. But you know what? Despite the 18 years of us being broadcasting in esports and we had our separate ways, I gotta say, man, I'm happy for you to see where you are now. Like going from TSN to ITG to Quad V to going to cast some League of Legends to going to Overwatch and now into Valorant. It's nice to see you still in the grind. It's good to be back with some old school players that still want to have fun broadcasting, like the amateur scene, the aspiring teams that are looking to go back into the pro scene, especially for such a good game like Valorant. So Good to be back on the mic with you, man.
Absolutely. Well, let's have a look at the schedule for tonight. So starting things off, obviously, we're going to have the European finals. That's right now that you're tuning in for. And then later on, we're also going to be covering the North American finals. It's actually American versus Canada as well. It's just like, look at a shame it's not 4th of July, because that would be like the ultimate.
It would have been cool. It's like a post celebration way, because the July 4th happened for the Americans, and then we had Canada Day on July 1st. So then July 5th is kind of like, okay, the clash. Which one's the best? Who has the better nationality at that point? The clash. No, but it's gonna be a good one still.
So is Nolpenki tonight coming into this one hot off 2-2-0s, two strong quarterfinal and semi-final performances. However, they did lose today in a different tournament. In the qualifiers for the Vitality tournament, they lost 2-0 to Team Bonk, which is Bonkar's team, a former NIP team, sort of bit of a mixed roster these days. And they're up against Jbzzz, who, I gotta be honest, we felt that the upper half of the bracket was probably the stronger. Obviously, worst players, 2G4L, Mattistack, and Nolpenki, they're all recognized teams that have played throughout the beta, whereas Jbzzz and 5GG, formerly known as Crazy, so we kind of knew them. They lost to Jbzzz yesterday. Their ascent was dreadful, and I don't understand why they picked it as their map choice.
I think sometimes when you see a brand new map, a lot of teams just want to attack it, try to throw a curveball. Maybe they practiced it enough, but sometimes when you practice too much and you're just going up against a pug that's just like, okay, well, we're just going to game it out and see what happens, sometimes you're over-prepared and you pay the price. But what I do like, at least for seeing 2 zeros on the upper bracket for Nolpenki on the other side, basically they had a nice revenge match against Mattistack, right? Winning 2-0 in that best out of 3. I mean, they lost against them 13-12 in a heartbreaker matchup on Haven for the Wave Esports about 2 weeks ago. So when you're looking at Mattistack, though, they did have a couple of roster changes, although still kept Taimu and Nicola and Jesmund. Although for Nolpenki, they kept their roster. With that loss, moving into this one here, even losing the qualifier for Vitality, it's still good to see them still sticking together and trying to progress as a team.
Yeah, they're grinding through. They played as Figure 5, Nolpenki did throughout the beta as well, Figure 05. So they got second and third place, actually, in the 2 Lava series that we ran. I recognize a bunch of the players, like Vax, a former PUBG guy, so obviously I've cast him before in that. There is NBS in there in the background somewhere as well. Used to be NIP PUBG player as well. I don't know whether he's the coach, but I see he's still listed in the roster. So maps today, we're going to be going on to Split, Bind, and Haven, by the way, for the first semi-final. This, though, Vansili, you can tell me all about what's been going on up here, because you've had a couple of close games.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think when you're looking at this, I mean, still, even though it's like 2-0 for Oxygen Supremacy, I would have thought that Oxygen Supremacy probably would have had a better fight with 303 Esports, but 303 Esports for me kind of underperformed in that quarterfinal match. Versus Demon Time, it was a nice matchup as well, too, because when you're looking at all of these top 4 teams that made it into the semifinals, they all had this CSGO background. Either they played into MDL or they have rank G and rank S experience in ESEA. So they had the fragging potential, they had the fragging power. When it comes down to execution as teams, I saw some very good executions from Oxygen Supremacy. I saw some very good one from Way Too French. Team Underrated. They're actually a team that, literally is underrated. We didn't know about that team. To be able to beat a team like Big Frames that's been around for since beta, and we thought they were going to move on at least up into the tier 3, tier 2 echelon of Valorant, they haven't. They got upset by Team Underrated. They actually had a very nice best out of 3 versus Way Too French yesterday as well. And that best out of 3 was a good comeback from a 12-8 deficit from Team Underrated tying it to 12-12, going into sudden death, and then beating Way Too French 13-12 on Haven. The other two matchups still had this 12-8 scoreline until finally Way Too French was able to surpass that obstacle and win those two maps 13-8 in the final score. So Oxygen Supremacy versus Way Too French. I think it's going to be a 3-map series as well, and I think it's going to be a very close series too.
Absolutely. Well, let's see how that one works out. Of course, the prize pool for this, a lot of money up for grabs, $10,000 on both Europe and North America, 20 grand total. 5K to the winner, 1.8 to second place. 800 was settled yesterday. The semi-finalists all walked away with that, and the quarterfinalists all going away with the $400 as well. So 5K to the winner, 1K each. These guys, without organizations at the moment, you know, this is good money for them.
No, definitely. And unless they're like a 6th player with a coach, for example, if I think we're looking at Jbzzz, they actually did have a 6-man roster throughout this weekend. So the money is kind of split, but still, it's not bad chunk of change to start this tournament as well. Big shout out to Trovo for putting all this money together. And also a big shout out to GLL, the platform we've been using for all the qualifiers too. Moving on to these brackets, they're actually running daily tournaments starting next week on their website. So make sure you guys check it out at play.gll.gg/Valorant, and you can get all the information you need, sign up your team, and get your experience in all ready for Valorant. Because they had over 250 teams sign up and qualify in Europe. They had over 120 teams in North America. You could see that the scene is huge right now for Valorant. It's just not a lot of people have a chance to see it because you're always watching invitationals of like G2, T1, XYZ. You're getting streamers in there. You got influencers, but nobody's giving a chance for the amateur teams that are aspiring to become pro. So events like Trovo, events like what's happening in North America as well with the Blitz Challenge Cup 2, open brackets, I love it. So I got to commend those guys to be able to put those together.
Absolutely. It's all about the open brackets for me. I think we started to see it. We covered, obviously, the Rise of Titans at the start of the week, and we started to see the bigger teams coming through, like Fabricant starting to get through. And all the teams that I've started to recognize from the European side, you know, it's great to see them qualifying for Vitality's Ignition Series next weekend as well. They've all played through today. So let's move on to the final. Let's start talking about Nolpenki up against the Nolpenki all-Lithuanian lineup, by the way, coming into this one, up against the all-French lineup of Jbzzz or Jbzzz, whichever we were calling them Jbzzz yesterday. It was quicker and easier to say. For sure. I guess, you know, the player Jbzzz himself in that team is kind of just one of those things where I guess it's like, we need a team name. He's like, I don't know, Team Jbzzz.
No, for sure. And then we wanted to know how they were doing so far. I think they've dropped only one map when you're looking at the brackets, how things played, if you looked at the few screens before. Although we don't have VODs yet here for Trovo. It should be up next week on the YouTube with GLL. So make sure you guys stay tuned to that one. Follow them on social media. But I think it's going to be an interesting one because for me, what I'm mostly excited about is learning how European Valorant is played. I've watched a bit, like I said, in terms of like invitationals with influencers and whatnot, but I haven't seen full teams do full executions and see how they really play. I was talking about it with Simo when we were broadcasting yesterday. He got a chance to cast a couple of European tournaments, and he's like, what I like about European teams is they don't really save. Because if you're stuck with a Sheriff, you're stuck with a Bucky, you're stuck with a submachine gun, whatever, they'll still buy it and play it. Execution, retakes are important for the defender side when you're going to try to get these points in and not save your weapons into the next round. And I think, if I'm not mistaken here, D-Man, is Nolpenki when they play, or Nolpenki when they played yesterday, they actually did not have a Sage on Bind either, if I'm not mistaken. So having Sageless compositions on Bind is something new to me as well, and I want to know how that actually, the strategy goes about for having a Sageless comp.
Yeah, it's something that's carried over. We saw it with Fabricant as well. They were running no Sages comps throughout the Rise of the Titans tournament, which is the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday that played out on. So it's something we've got used to seeing, but we are going to see the Bind as the said double Sage comp. Are we going to mirror match? No, because the Jet's in there, of course, for VAC on the Jet, so not too surprising. It is going to be Nolpenki on the attack to start things off here. Team Jbzzz will be on the defensive side. We'll get the roster lineups for you in just a second. I can kind of guess mostly who's on what for you if you like. If I can get my roster lined up. Let's have a quick look at it. Was Nolpenki will be, I guarantee it's probably Cho on Cypher, Boo will be on the Omen, Vac will be on the Jet, 100%. Miko on the Sage, and Loudly will be on the Raze. I would be in guesswork territory because they got the new guys back in, right? So no Loki today.
That's right. Yeah, so Loki is actually sitting out for this one too in the grand final. So we'll see if that's going to change things up. But we're starting quickly inside this B site with a couple of trades. It seems as though the attackers now of Nolpenki have made it inside B, still looking to get a spike plan, but they only have 2 players, making that 0 players left for Team Jbzzz to start things off on this retake. And this aggression that started for the pistol round of Nolpenki was flawless on that mid to B split.
So now, if memory serves me correct, I think Nolpenki went 9-3 in the first half against 2G4L on the attack inside yesterday. It was a solid start for them. They're a very good team on this map. So I'm not too surprised to see them picking up the pistol, but only just losing the one man. That's going to kick. Hoppy, the only one that got the kill in there. They have invested with the Sheriff, just a shorty and a couple of frenzies. That's about it. So Nolpenki going to be coming on with the Spectres.
Definitely. I think they got 13-6 overall scores on split for both of the times they played it for Nolpenki. So one was against the Mattistack team. The other one was against 2G4L. So they were looking good in this map. They're looking comfortable in this one, as you just mentioned here, D-Man. So we'll see if they're going to be able to win this convincingly to look comfortable in that second map. This round, though, Eco coming across for Jbzzz. As they have a stack towards this mid and towards short A, nobody really playing inside the site. Kind of default, as you can see on gun rounds too, on a map like Split.
Yeah, default, exactly. I was about to say, it's the default setup. You can tell the Counter-Strike players, standard setup. Now, Maiden, the man that came in, he couldn't play yesterday. His team got himself to this final, though. Does manage to find himself a nice shot. Boo pushing up was very impressive yesterday, Boo. Pulling out the Bulldog. He's going to cover off. There's been a triple rotate to B. We can see that it's going to be an A hit. And at the moment, there is simply Jbzzz, the only man sat there on ramp, ready for this 4-man stack coming his way.
Yeah, that's right. He does have a shorty as well. He should get smoked out too. He's going to hear the loud footsteps coming across. So he's waiting for his teammates to rotate at least. No, actually, he's going to peek long range. Long range with a shorty, not much he could do. Gets picked off by Boo. Will be able to move inside the site on the A side for Nolpenki and get the easy spike safely behind the site.
It's going to be a tricky retake. All pistols. That's all they've got. Boo will find himself a second. The other two at spawn. I think they're just going to save the Sheriffs and maybe try and rescue a weapon. I'm pretty sure they've got the one weapon from B site. Maybe, Maiden's picked himself up the Spectre. Surprised he's not just going to pull that. But then again, they're going to have full money for the next round. So I guess they're going to be coming in with Phantoms regardless. But Boo gets himself a simple triple spray. And now Passe, who was very impressive yesterday for us, actually. Passe was the second highest fragger on the team. Will get himself a simple tap on Vac there. I didn't actually get to see what weapons Nolpenki came in. Now, Vac, I wouldn't be too surprised if he's saved with a ghost, maybe, and he's going to push straight for the operator. Yep, there it is.
That's right. I mean, they were playing a little bit more safe as well on the defense. They only had pistols. You saw for a chance that Maiden could have bought an operator there for his teammate, but that means he would have had to play glass cannon. So Hoppy, the last one, trying to decide what he wants to get, but you could be safe to say he's probably going to get a Phantom or a Vandal. It's going to be the Phantom that he takes. They have only a Spectre, though, for their 5th player. So the buy isn't that full. But still, I've mentioned these ways where you have close corridors, close maps, like this map, like Bind. It's okay to get an SMG as well for the engagement close range.
Well, Loudly, the only man just sitting waiting for Nolpenki, just waiting to see if there's going to be any push out. We can see the setup here as they look towards ramp. Nobody on ramp at the moment, but they do have Passe on site. The defending team of Jbzzz. He's the only one sat ready and waiting. Has got his owl drone as well, but he's got their shock bolts ready and waiting to go. But just a little is flicked. Didn't catch Passe. It looked like it was on him, but Passe will get chowed down there. And now with the owl drone going out, they're going to be pushed into ramp. But that's one man down on this push. They've started to take control of mid though as well.
Yeah, you wonder if maybe it was a sidestep there that got inaccurate on that shot, but at least Passe did his job inside A. We're finally getting a little bigger ground towards this mid side as Boo gets 2 kills, but unfortunately, they did drop the spike at A Heaven. Thankfully, though, it has been recuperated by Vac. They're going to meet up together inside vents, moving up towards that Heaven, but Cusian is waiting at the bottom of the ropes. So now that he's actually dark covered, he's trying to check out. Boo gets the headshot, moving down inside the site. And it should be easier for them to get the plant, but it's a 2 versus 2 situation.
It's going to be an operator down low. Tell a lie, Vax changed it out for a Vandal. So he's decided to drop out that operator. It's best in this 2v2 situation. Jbzzz already down on site. Finds himself Boo. Gets the second down on Vac. And nicely done for the retake there from Jbzzz. And the first round on the board for Jbzzz as well.
That kind of sucks because you saw Boo farming 2 rounds ago with the Bulldog getting 4 kills. He gets entries as an Omen moving inside that site this round, but somehow it took him like 10 bullets to destroy a Boombot to give his position away and also not give him a chance to get his position back on the crosshair for that 1 versus 1 battle face to face. You can see right there, he was still trying to fight that Boombot when Jbzzz came down. So a nice retake at least for the defenders.
That little ramp, that little part there, we have seen some really janky things with the Boombot on that little slope.
Yeah. Dude, you should see mid, actually. I've played it myself the other day, and somebody threw a raised Boombot at mid, and it jumped on top of the box, and then it twerked on the platform, then twerked down the stairs. I've wasted a full clip, and I still couldn't kill it. Also because I'm platinum, but at the same time, just to see it jerk around so much kind of pissed me off.
Well, let's see how this works. Boo up close and personal, gets a glimpse of Hoppy, but can't get the shot. That box is nigh on impossible to shoot through, so he just gives up on that instantly and will back away from that one. That was a Hunter's Fury, I think I just saw whizzing past our face there. Didn't manage to land though. Jbzzz going to throw out the Boombot and back away. It may actually find his target. They must have shot it straight away. Vac's going to be the man that will just use that Cloud Storm to try and cover himself up. Passy though, quickly getting the double. This attack is gone out the window. The spike, however, is with Loudly at B side.
Yeah, they were trying to sell some sort of fake here. As you see, that there's only a Sheriff, so they're low on this buy. But unfortunately, not everybody is rotated on that B side. So Pain Shell's going to get thrown, getting his Cypher out of position, but Cusian still wins that fight with the Spectre. So the spike is now down. Omen's the last man to go. It's going to be Boo here at the orb of the A ramp. Pretty much pinned here from sewers, from the spawn, from heaven. That's it. Passe is going to be the one that's going to get the kill. We've evened up the tally, 2-2 overall, which is actually very good here for this defender side of Jbzzz.
Yeah, very good indeed. And it is just going to be a pistol round as well once again for Nolpenki. So kind of bit them. This one is Cusian going to stick with that. 4.5k on Maiden. Could just buy himself a Vandal for him, but he's going to stick with the Spectre. I guess they realize that the bank is broke, so probably safe to play with the Spectre for this round.
Yeah, and even though they only have pistols, they're still splitting out. So they're starting with an early dark cover towards A ramp, and a camera also to try to split out and see if anybody's going to push down aggressively for Team Jbzzz. Meanwhile, though, we are trying to take mid control with the second dark cover coming in from that Omen on that B connector. A counter dark cover as well, and we're going to try to fight close range through it, and Hoppy wins that first fight against Boo.
Yeah, quickly pushes down, slays the second as well as McCoy. I think he just saw the toes peeking through. Second, can they get a third through the smoke? Doesn't look like he's going to be able to get the hidden senses, but Loudly once again with the Sheriff and the spike. Hope and a dream in a 1v5, and the paint shells land on his face.
Yeah, a little bit unfortunate there. 50 HP, make it 55. More specifically, only with the Sheriff once again is Loudly. The goal right now is, of course, trying to get the spike down, but with a 4-on-1 situation, make that a 5-on-1 situation nearly impossible. Even his position is given away here from a recon arrow and a wallbang from Passe. The econ damage wasn't even there for Nolpenki on that eco, but at least now they'll have that money, probably the first time if they wanted to get an operator if they want as well. We'll see if they could actually turn it around finally.
Yeah, it felt a little weird that they played default when they were on an eco. It's a little strange. Not too sure what they were hoping to gain from that one, but they're going to switch it obviously up back into the weapons now. So full buy. Let's see if they can pull anything out. There is quite a few ults available for both teams as well. The showstopper on both sides. Are we going to see some sort of boosted showstopper funkiness? Loudly is going to get caught by the dark cover straight away as they push on through. Aggressive stuff, and actually Loudly taking damage there as well. Remember, no Sage for them anywhere near that side. He's way over the other side of the map, so we'll need to get covered out. But look at that. That's Boo pushing through, and he's the other side of the wall right now.
Yeah. And that's the thing, though. The Frost Orb went towards that front. So, okay, Hoppy is watching it. So he did hear the audible cue that Boo has made it inside ropes. His teammate, though, the other Omen, is actually very low on HP with Maiden still trying to lurk down and try to counter it back. But Boo has some sort of control. They have to act upon this. So 2 more players are moving up. So it's going to be Vac moving up here with the Sage of Hoppy. Oh, sorry. Of Miko, and they're going to try to push in for the trades inside Mail, and it works in their favor on the attacker side. But Qzen's still alive, goes for a double kill on the ropes here at the B Heaven, and that is going to be now a 2 versus 2, make that a 2 versus 1. Cho, who's been silent, I haven't even said his name once, finally gets a kill here, and now it's a 1 versus 1 as it's traded out once again, but the spike is down. Long range battle here inside this B site. Loudly comes out with the showstopper, but does not connect with the rocket. And now with the Vandal, 33 HP against his opponent here at 150. Things are looking very good for Passe.
It's only 20 seconds to play with as well. Going up the rope, I'm not sure I agree with that. You can see Passe is kind of setting himself up for it. We'll get the information play. Now he's just running. They realize there's 14 seconds on the clock. If he's going to try and get the spike plant out, it would have to be very quickly. But Passe plays it very nicely. Goes passive, backs away, listens for the audible cue, and gets himself the kill. A nice round from Jbzzz. It seems they're stepping up here. I was expecting Nolpenki to come into this one and maybe roll on through. And it did look that way in the first 2, but they've certainly stepped it up in the rifle rounds.
Yeah, and it's always been a debate right now on Split. Is it more attacker-sided? Is it more defender-sided? A lot of people are saying, look, it's a little bit more attacker-sided now that they changed the orbs and the barriers and the positioning since the last 2 patches. But lately, I'm starting to see a lot of defense playing it super well as well. I'd like to see in the records, though, this 13-4 that Nolpenki got, or 13-6 that he got against his opponents. Oh my god, how does the rocket does not connect there? That kills him with the frenzy, picks up the Phantom, and they open up the A site. An ultimate going in from the Omen teleport inside A, but Waited is still, or Passe is still alive here, gets a second kill onto Cho. Finally, it's traded out here by Loudly. They move inside the site, at least they get a spike plant. Can they get the win here, D-Man?
This is more like the eco that we're expected to see, and it's kind of paid off. Boo sitting back to the Spectre, not the ideal long-range weapon, but you can see Loudly's got his hands on one of those Vandals, so could be crucial close range. Jbzzz back on his feet as he gets the Resurrect through, and Loudly realizing he needs to get that cover on high, and he manages to find Jbzzz resurrected, but look at the double push coming around, flushing out the site, and it leaves Boo the last man. They get the Neuro Theft down, they know exactly where it's coming through. They're gonna stick the defuse, and there's nothing Boo can do about it.
Yeah, that's what they wanted, right? It was close. They did get control of the site as well, trying to do econ damage. Will be able to do so at least onto Maiden. So a silver lining on that round. But so they killed 3 guys. They get a spike plant. They have the economy into this round. Boo also keeps the Spectre into here. I would probably upgrade at that point as well because of the amount of rounds that you lost so far. There you go. So you lost 5 rounds in a row. Invest into that Vandal. If you lose the round, you still have enough money with your team to go for a full buy into the next. So smart move to play that one there. It started off very well. They changed the pace here, D-Man. They went a lot faster, and it paid off. They got into the site. I think that's what they have to change to in their style.
I would say the one thing we haven't seen yet, and that's mainly because Nolpenki have yet to get an economy going. We haven't seen VAC get going yet. VAC was a big part of their victories in the last couple of days, and that can be the danger of operator players, right? If they don't have that moment, they can't get going, they don't have the economy, a 4,500 investment, it's a big investment for that weapon, and rightly so with the one-shot kill that is basically on a toe. You know, if they cannot get that going, and if your team relies so heavily on it, it can hurt you. But look at this, a 4-man stack on B, up into tower. This is going to be risky. There's a triple stack up here as well, but Cho's going to get one, can go down to Maiden. Maiden gets himself tucked in the corner, gets a glimpse and gets the headshot onto Loudly, but McCoy with the refrag.
You still have Qzen inside the site, though, and Jbzzz is still doing his work at the top of the B connector. He's going to take down 2, make that a 3rd one with the satchel. The cage comes down. Boo does the surprise, gets the headshot, retaliated for a 4K from Jbzzz, and that was a solid hold. We did say they had to change the pace. They did go more aggressively towards this mid-side with a 4-man push, but couldn't get past that staircase.
It was so well read. Jbzzz had that triple stack in tower ready and waiting for it. That was just so well executed and read. Nothing they could do against it. Running into the grinder, made him with the double. He knew he had to force the peak. He knew he was probably going to die after forcing it, but just tries to stick that spray down. And then Jbzzz with the blast pack, and then the spray down on the Phantom. He got the second one down low, and then Spun got the 4th and final one from mid. And mid is really where the battle's been lost at the moment. They haven't gotten control of it at all.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this map is kind of like of an ascent. You really have to take control of that mid side so you can really split into the B or the A. Usually, if you take mid control, you want to head towards B because going through the ropes is kind of like a death trap. And there you go. Vac, we talked about him, needed to step up. He finally manages to get the headshot there onto Hoppy. Is jetting through here the rope side. The spike is down, though, all the way towards spawn, so they're wasting a little bit of time, and they're going to lose a little bit of map control because they got so many early kills, but now that they've fallen back, you could see they could push forward right now for the defender side, and they've lost the control of A side.
Back is ready and waiting, expecting the push up there, but Maiden on the ropes comes out on top. I honestly, I hate that rope play in that you just never know which way it's going to go. It's like, all I have to shoot is the head. Why did my headshot not land? Well, it didn't. I gotta tell you, and Kizian on site has just cut 2 more down, makes it a triple with just 11 hit points standing. And Nolpenki seems to be running out of ideas.
Yeah, and that's why, you see, he had to run back from the site to pick up the spike, and then he's like, okay, Cho, what do I do? At that point, you can't really go back into A and get information to see if they rotated it out or not. So they already had 2 players committed towards this B side, 1 guy towards mid. They say, okay, well, let's just try to go inside B. But when you have a Cypher playing inside that site, lots of times you do see a Turtle Cypher, and Cusian was just able to get those kills quite easily as they're running through their cyber cages.
7-2. This is not going the way I expected it at all. Jbzzz lining up the paint shells down, and there is a 5 stack there as well. Pass 8 going to peek with the operator. Boo does get Jbzzz down though, so a glimmer of hope maybe for Nolpenki, but they got the early frags in the last round and couldn't make it count, but they've quickened up the pace. All of them on site, but Maiden already starts to cause problems.
Yeah, again, it's a mixed buy coming through. Nice boombot kill onto Maiden. It's a combo from the boombot. Oh, what a tap onto Hoppy. Headshots him as well with the Sheriff. And now Passe is going to move forward. Another sidestep that's inaccurate. Misses the shot. He's now the last man standing. Misses it onto Vac, who gets 2 kills with the Bulldog. And finally, an aggressive play plus a teleporter from the Omen helped Nolpenki get that round towards A.
Yeah, that double cloudburst almost giving him a advantage Passe up on Heaven there, but finally gets cut down, and McCoy with his first kill of the game as well there. So you need some of your players, and McCoy has been a strong player for them in the past, so you know, just need those guys to start stepping up their performance. Loudly has been their top fragger, I think, throughout the tournament, so surprised to see him still down at 6 as well, but that may be because they haven't had that C play yet, so we'll probably see him stepping up on the defensive side. So penultimate round of the half here, as Vac has got that telltale operator. He didn't pull the trigger. That just shows a little sign of nerves there, because even I saw the chance of pulling the trigger there.
No, that's for sure, but that's also because they're creeping slowly inside B. They break the trap wire as well. Loudly opens up the B connector, but nobody's there to split. So they're probably going to try to run all the way into this B. Okay, they're slowing down a bit. I like that, because they're so split off. Wait as a team, and maybe if you want to try to work back towards this B side, at least you have that split, because you got rid of the stage, you got rid of some trap wires already, and this could be big for them to overtake the defense.
Kizian has kind of been a thorn in their side on B. I feel like they've really struggled with him at the moment. Ooh. Maiden, oh, he gets the other side of them. Both Vac and Cho taken down. McCoy gets the refrag. Doesn't have the resurrect though, so won't be able to get him back on his feet, and gets dropped instantly by Jbzz's showstopper. And again, that middle battle, it's not good. That boombot, I tell you, Boo is hating life right now. He's about to get caught in the back. Jbzzz tucked in the corner. Will he find him first? Yes, he will, but the backstab is coming if he doesn't realize it quick enough in this 2v1, sorry. He's going to get caught out as soon as he drops down.
Yeah, but the Cypher missed his shots there, so that's a position getaway. Cameron to come up too. Hunter's Fury as well. Gets him off the site, but there's only 14 seconds left. Gets onto a trap wire. Now finally gets hit by Hunter's Fury. Nothing is going in his favor. Trying to go for a plant, but somehow, why are they still looking there? He gets the kill into Cusian. Now he's not going to be able to get that plant at the same time. It's a 1 versus 1. Silver Arrow is going to come out too to give him his position, and he still gets the headshot onto Passe with this clutch on a 3v1. What a play. Wow. He needed that. Holy
cow, did they need that. Make it 7-4, but that was a huge performance, and honestly a round that he should not have won. Like, no. They had the camera, the information, they shot too early, they had the Hunter's Fury on him, so they knew exactly where he was, but they took it to 1v1s. It's like basic close quarter combat. You got 2v1, don't let him have 2 1v1s. Yeah. Simple as you like.
But like I said, he hit a trapwire, so his position's there at default. He got hit by a Hunter's Fury, and you saw that when we came out from that Heaven side, we pre-fired down towards that double stack originally when he was hiding on that pistol round. So I don't know what was going on there. Another small mistake as well from Nolpenki, though, where they didn't clear corners. That back should have checked when he threw that smoke. So thankfully, you did have Boo to save the team. This round, though, we're trying to go aggressive for Nolpenki. There you go. We have the operator in the hands of Vac, and we'll see if he's going to be able to open things up here towards his A side as they have 3 players moving up towards that A heaven.
Can they make it semi-save the round with a 7-5? You know, that would be acceptable, I think. After having a woeful start to this one, but Hoppy will get a 1-for-1 trade. Boo, I think that may be getting close to 20 frags in the first half. That's very impressive on the attacking side. He's definitely been a big problem. Neural theft comes through, so they know that Kizian is here. He's going to get the spray down nonetheless. And I was about to say they shouldn't let him get a frag if they see where he is and have an ounce of information. So now it's all on Jbzzz and Passe on the rotate in a 4v2.
Lands that shot there onto Jbzzz, despite now Planet Passe. Gonna try to clutch this one here. It's okay, I think, for them to go for it because they've won so many rounds. I think the economy is still very good. So dropping the operator, start things off to make things expensive for Nolpenki is a great start. Now as he moves forward, there's a wall up. Might have to give his position away. Or he's just going to look for some picks and just fall back after that. I like whatever decision that he makes in his 3 versus 1. He's going to bait himself out first. Gonna throw a recon arrow just to see if he could spot somebody here. Breaks a trap wire too, the camera. So they have all the information there to know where Passe or when he's gonna come out. Finally to do so, to get that crossfire set up, and Boo picks up the kill. So we ended 7-5, which is actually really good on the comeback because they looked very, very grim in that first half there, D-Man. And I think though at this point, that's what I was gonna try to say before. Nolpenki, are they more comfortable playing defender sided, which is why we saw a 13-6 scoreline versus the last 2 matches that they had in the bracket. And maybe that's why we also see Jbzzz starting off on the defender side too, because they had sided choice.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. They are very, very strong on the defensive side. And, I mean, I would say the worry for Jbzzz here, while we're going into attack, is the fact that Nolpenki, as a team, have yet to get going. Boo clearly has got going. 21 kills in the opening half is absolutely incredible. We'll see where he can go from here, of course. On the defensive side, you know, it's only a case of if they push your side, you'll get kills. You can only do so much on the defensive side, and it is going to be on to Cho where they go. You can see he's got that little one-way smoke. You can see the under the feet of them, and he's got the support coming in as McCoy will get the boost up there onto Hoppy. Completely caught him off guard. And now with the paint shells going in, they've had to retreat.
I love it, because you kind of play Tetris at both stages. You had the attacking Sage put the wall up so that he could cross. Then the defender Sage of Hoppy, Hoppy was the one that made the cross, and you had the defender Sage of Miko that puts the wall up to prevent it from moving through. And I talked about it multiple times. The wall and pistol round is probably the strongest ability in the game because it takes so long to break the wall. So then you're forcing your opponents to fall back from B all the way to A, wasting time, getting out of position, moving in with no information as well. So Vac's going to get the first kill. Now they see the push coming inside, and Boo is waiting on the top of heaven.
Boo throws out the paranoia. I don't think it caught too many. That's a really nice blast back from Jbzzz. Tossed long. Looking to be a simple plant now. So the 3-man hold with 4 of them coming from long. I'm not sure I agree with that. I feel that at least somebody should be going up in heaven, but they clearly have an idea of this one. And Vac just gets himself a quick double tap, and the job is done. All right, Vac has finally arrived.
You know what? There's a term that we like to say in Counter-Strike as well. Maybe that's why his name is that way. It's spelled differently, but that looked like it was almost anti-cheat needed from Vanguard. Let's call it Van from now on. I think that's what HecoStream calls it too. Instead of being Vac, you call it Van. And these guys are just our Van, short for Vanguard, of course. But you're starting to see Vac step up. I mean, look at that scoreboard. Boo is at 21 kills in that first half. Right? And then Vac was a little bit behind. Now he's moving forward on this defender side. And if these guys are starting to step up here for the rest of the team of Nolpenki, it's going to start to get very difficult for Jbzzz to maintain this lead. They're only 1 round away from tying things up.
I mean, as I say, Loudly's normally the guy that Loudly and Vac are normally the top fraggers. So it's great to see others are stepping it up. But it's a worry for Jbzzz. And of course, the second round, they won't be forcing too much into this. They did get the spike down, but I don't expect to see too much from them. It is just going to be a couple of frenzies and pistols, so nothing too wild for Jbzzz as they try and break down the wall that got placed down, and loudly, just with the insult, with the blast back over the top into Qzen's face.
Yeah, that's what happens, man. You're trying to break that wall. Well, you're going to get a surprise of a satchel charge. Trying to push through and clear corners. Maiden checks the wrong corner. Nice trade, at least, from Hoppy. They make something out of it with that Marshall, but at least Miko and Lally trade it back. So now the spike is down. It's a 4 versus 1. Passe is stuck pretty much with only 34 HP. I'm assuming he's at 34 because he had some battle before on that mid side to help out, unless it's a battle towards B. But nonetheless, he's just going to waste the time down. I mean, you spent $500 for ghosts. You let them come after you. It's okay. Because now you're going to get ultimate points if you get kills. You're going to waste some economy too if they actually hunt after you. So on Nolpenki's side, you could see that they're actually looking for that kill.
I mean, he's only got the ghost, so it's not really taking too much away. But Vac will find it, pad the stats. That's what he wants. So that's what they always go for. So, okay, full rifle round. Are they going to go for the bonus, or are they going to fully invest in this one? Vac will get the operator, but everybody else stays on the Spectres. So it is going to be a bonus round for them. We'll see what they can net from this one. And of course, big round for Jbzzz here on the rifles.
Yeah, and Cho, I mean, we wanted to see if he's going to be able to play the same way as his opponent played Qzen inside that B site. You see that the cyber cages are placed a little bit more differently. We've seen this a lot towards the beta side as well, especially when the cyber cage used to slow people down. It was basically one ways and easy frags. This time only as audible cues, still very useful to see those feet come across so that the people towards heaven could also help out with the crossfire. They also break the camera early. And while all that happens, as you waste utilities towards this B side, we're still split off here on a default for Jbzzz on the attacker.
Yeah, they've just got Qzen over on the A side. Got his camera down as well, just looking towards ramp. He's going to get the information he needed there as he sees Cho peeking. Cho will take that camera down, but he's drawn the info out. And again, back to mid. Are they going to be expecting Maiden? Yes, they are. McCoy just knew exactly where he was. And that was the double over on B long as well. The double operator, one hit. That's killed their round.
Oh, definitely. And I like the change that they made there because, like I said before, you had that solo Cypher playing inside that site. Jbzzz trying to do some work, though. He gets 2 kills, a third one as he gets paranoia just right after. But now, that 3 versus 1 is 1. His teammate has fallen down on the other side of the site. It's a 2 versus 1 at this point. He picks up the spike. We thought it was over, but at least he made it very expensive here because that operator costs a lot of money. Yes, it's a bonus round for the defenders, but technically it shouldn't be lost. It shouldn't have been lost on that garage hold. So now Jbzzz is looking to push through this Omen smoke, and finally, Boo stops him with the Spectre. I was going to say and commend them there, D-Man. I like the rotation that they had. Usually they have the solo Cypher play inside the site with Cho, but instead they invested to have the operator go long range and spot those out and have the submachine guns play the close range battles.
Yeah, and obviously for Nolpenki, the only thing they bought was an operator, and they managed to get it back up there, so they can fully invest quite happily back in this round and get themselves the Phantoms and Vandals on the board, while unfortunately for Jbzzz, they're kind of going to be, I assume we're going to see some sort of standard eco. I can't see exactly what weapons they've got. It's Ghosts, yeah, it's just Ghosts. I'm going to say, I think there's a Marshall in there maybe.
Yeah, well, at least they open it up somehow. So they get a kill towards this A side. They move inside the side as well. Lally's on a rotation with the Bulldogs. So despite them winning that round, you didn't go with full upgrades. They had money for Bulldogs, the operator that they saved. Miko does have the Phantom for them to walk back. But you talked about it here, D-Man. They move as a group, nobody towards heaven. This gives a chance right now for Maiden to get the high ground advantage while everybody else is heading their way towards A main.
Yeah, moving as one. Are they going to get caught out? Jbzz's rocket will come through. McCoy finds Maiden. Now's up on heaven, but Passe, he's been deadly with his ghost before. McCoy, he hasn't got too many kills so far in the half, so this is really pressure play for him. Oh, the blast pack. Well, if Passe didn't get him with the ghost, you saw that blast pack coming at him.
Oh, man. And it was a great way for them to play the attackers. I didn't expect for them to be able to win that, actually, for Jbzzz. Somehow, though, with the trade, a 3-man peak, they win on a trade advantage, keeping 1 alive, losing 2 players, somehow still make it inside the site. But I got to say, probably because they have abilities. You forget that a game here like Valorant, the ultimates can make a big difference.
It's also one of those moments where, You always try and do this in publics, but there's an operator, guys. We've only got pistols. Rush it. He can only shoot once, and that's exactly what happened. They rushed down the operator of VAC. You know, they didn't bait each other and go one by one. They actually all did it at once, and it paid off.
Yeah, for sure. And now I like this too. So the cyber cage goes up, and you see how the owl drone goes very low because he wants to bait out the trap wire that's going to be set down towards the cyber cages so nobody gets caught. That gives him a chance once again for Cho to give his position away, to waste a lot of utilities, to look for backup, force a rotation. Look at this minimap. They have 4 players already on the defender side of Nolpenki inside B, and Jbzzz have fallen back towards mid control, where there's no time to put a wall up because the Sage actually rotated out towards the back of the heaven side.
So with the mid stack set up, the dark cover goes across. It's going to be an A hit. They're going to go straight through ladder now. It's all on VAC. VAC is the man as high, but McCoy pops out. That's a big information for him because he got the spray down. He did a lot of damage to Kizane as well. And they are looking to transfer this into now a B play because they realized there would have been a heavy rotate from Nolpenki here. And they are correct. It's all on Cho at the moment. You can see loudly, he's on the rotate at the moment to get it here, but he's going to be a little late. They're going to be up in tower before he gets a chance. Now, Cho spotted. They know where he is. He's got to try and land a shot, and he gets the spike carrier down. Hoppy, the first man in. Can he try and cause any more disruption? He does. He gets Maiden as well. He's still not being cleared off sight. They knew exactly where he was. He gets a little twitchy. Kiziane will finally take him down, but there's still 2 on site. Kiziane gets a triple. It's a 1-on-1. VAC now got the ulti running. Will he be able to pop it out? The Blade Storm works out well, and Kiziane just about goes down. He did get the spike plant in. Tell a lie, he didn't. He was just getting it down. Yeah, and that's a little bit of vital money.
Yeah, definitely. That's going to be a broken buy coming in for the attackers if they want to have Jbzzz. And looks like they're going to opt for the marshals, the pistols. So they are going to upgrade to whatever they can as a team to still be able to buy into the next round, which is totally fine. Because the last time they had this type of buy, it worked out. But you still have to commend Cho. Only at 5 and 11, but the only thing he had to do instead that B site was to stay alive. So him staying alive that long didn't give a chance for anybody to clear any other areas of the site, all focused on him, which gave a chance for his teammates to come out and try to go for those trades.
Oh, the cheeky peek from VAC. That's what we're expecting. Once he starts to get hot doing that, it's going to get problematic. And he's looking straight across the long now. Sees the cage trap triggered, but nothing coming of it. I do wonder how they're going to work out. Oh, Passe gets McCoy with the Hunter's Fury onto tower. That was nicely played there, and Loudly's down as well. So suddenly things are opening up. Jet is in place, and it's going to be VAC ready and waiting. And Boo was completely caught off guard by the Maiden. He actually went down through ramps, through mid, through ramps, and he just wasn't expecting him to be there.
No, they were expecting some B hit, especially after getting those 2 first kills from the Hunter's Fury at B Heaven, and then the insta-martial headshot into B Heaven as well on the top of the stairs. It's just very... You could predict that the rush was going to come towards that sign. So he tried to go for the rotation, caught his pants down, and then that's an open A site right there for the attacker side of Jbzzz. So a great round for them. Once again, they went for some sort of a broken buy, and it paid off in their favor, where Nolpenki at this point, I think, should be on a low buy. Unless they're able to save these 2 weapons, they could drop it out for their teammates and purchase other weapons.
Yeah, it feels like Nolpenki, obviously, we saw VAC get that early shot, and then kind of like expecting the default, maybe, and kind of sat back and rested on their laurels because they got that early peak, I don't know, and maybe weren't expecting in the quickening of the pace there. And clearly read way too heavily into the B play as well, because everybody just abandoned mid control. Is what caught the rotation off guard. So we are all square, 9 apiece. Let's see if Nolpenki can answer this. They went 7-5 down, so they picked up obviously with the pistol. Did gain themselves that couple of rounds, but we already see VAC going out. That was the replay from earlier, and he was trying to catch me off guard there as we pushed in because they were about to make the play. But that was the opener, and that's kind of what tripped them up. But it does look like Jbzzz have kind of switched into the speed rounds now. And again, they might catch VAC off guard because VAC's going to go for the early peak here.
Yeah, and there you go. You have Bulldog Spectre as a Phantom coming through, so it's a mixed buy. VAC at least from that save operator from the previous round. Takes down Hoppy. That's a big kill because that's no heal, no resurrection as well because it was propped ready. Now Cyber Cage to come up. Everybody's stuck here at the orb. It's going to get broken down on that boom bot, but it's still a very slow-paced round for Jbzzz from that first pick. That's going to force him to fall back and try to take this mid control here, man.
McCoy's wall has been used in mid. That's going to get broken down, but the slow orb layered on top. Cho's with him. Cho just checking his camera on long, so he realizes it is still long as the Owl drone will go looking for it. Realizes they've gone passive. Maiden has managed to get through, so he's going to be going up towards A Heaven through ramp. Through rope, sorry, to try and cause the upset as he did again. But look at Boo. Boo is ready and waiting on the Omen. He is not letting his backstab work. But look at how dangerous they are. They're down to Spectres at the moment. This is really a forced up issue with Vac on that operator. If he hadn't landed that shot at the start, they would have been in on A site already.
Yeah. And now because the action's been so slow, they're kind of out of position too. The Jet's by himself inside the site, so Vac is waiting for his teammates. Boo, as he's throwing some smokes from the top of the ropes, gets caught off guard, but then Vac still stays alive. That's a triple kill with the operator. A dash from behind, the execution onto Maiden. Only one more to go, finally stopped by Cusian. 14 seconds left on the clock, or 2 versus 1. The spike will at least go down behind the screens, but both players are so close in front of the site.
Oh, he could pull this out. Oh, he took it to a one-on-one with Cho, but Cho comes out on top and they will get the defuse in. And more importantly, they'll collect that operator as well. And we're going into the 10-9. He's going to give Cho the ulti there, it seems. Just make sure they've got the right weapons there. So 10-9 Nolpenki. They're going to have their full economy set up here. And there's a lot of ultis on both sides coming into this next round.
That's right. Wanted to leave that neural theft there for that Cypher because she already had her res up for that round. Didn't need it at all. As commend Vac for how he played that site. Look at this tailwind from behind. Maiden saw that, never saw that coming, rather. But at least with the amount of rounds that have been won on Eco for Jbzzz, right? If you look at the second half, the 2 rounds that they won have been on just broken buys. So they have enough economy, especially after that spike plan, to go for a full rifle round. And we'll see if they'll be able to change this so far. But look, we've changed the position of the operator. Vac this time towards B. Takes Jbzzz down. A big fragger for the team of this French roster. And just because of that, they're going to keep guessing for the rest of this game.
Well, Boo has just got his 4th frag of the half. He had 21 kills in the first half and only taken 4 so far on the defensive side. Like I say, sometimes it's just which way they come towards you.
Exactly.
And we're starting to see Vac, in meanwhile, pick it up. He's on 22 now, while Boo is on 25. And they are coming his way. He's going to see another one come through. Will get Maiden down. The spike carrier still continues to push in towards tower. And the slow orb will stop them, but they have the full stack here. They need to change direction because they're pushing into a 4v2 here. McCoy will find Hoppy. Jbzzz the last man. Not really anywhere for him to go here. Will manage to find Cho. Looking for the second. It's going to get sprayed down by Boo. And the round now is starting to creep towards match point for Nolpenki. Or map point, I should say. 11-9. And, oh, it's not a good buy, is it, for Jbzzz?
Yeah. Well, this is the difficult part. When you're playing rosters that don't really have anybody that could flash, right? But yes, of course, the Omen does have the paranoia, but he only has 1, so you want to use it at the right time. Usually towards executions, usually trying to take mid control. But very rarely did you see somebody throw a paranoia from the A spawn or the B spawn to try to stop the operator, who's now posted up towards his mid side. And because of that, you're doing body peeks and you're getting picked off 1 by 1. This is what I'm talking about. Thankfully that he missed here. But now that he gets land that second shot onto Jbzzz.
Oh, he tailwinds out of it. Oh, he just about avoided it. Nicely done there. The beauty of Jet, the ability to escape those situations. And very important that they managed to keep hold of that one. Loudly sat ready and waiting. Looking for somebody to peek out of that dark cover. It's interesting he's watching the left angle. The wall was there, but it should be gone now. It's still there. The wall is still up. So he's actually checking the wrong angle at the moment. He should be looking at the near angle, yeah, which is where they're about to come through. I shouldn't second guess him. He gets himself a double out level 3. So, you know, does the job. And, well, Hoppy will be able to heal himself up in a second. But I feel the damage may be done here. Boo is rotated to B. I think that maybe just for the dark cover. But he might get surprised here by Cusian. No, not this time.
Unfortunately, the 50-50 didn't come into his favor, so Cusian looked at the wrong way. That means now Hoppy is the last man standing. At least still has a barrier wall up and also has a frost orb. So could get something done here if he can win this fight, but no. Miko stops him right there, and it's now 12-9. So when we thought here, D-Man, that it was going to be very one-sided, and we're like, what the hell happened to the Nolpenki that we thought was going to dominate here on this map? A split? Well, they only really needed to wait for this defender side, and you could see from both of these teams that defense is, they're really much more comfortable in that role.
Yeah, I think it's also about a little bit about the confidence, right? You know, they just lost that 2-0 earlier on in the Vitality qualifier, so they're not going to make it to the Ignition Series, which probably hurt them, because that's a big 50K tournament. You know, that's a lot of money that they've lost out on, but they need to focus here. They are in the finals. They are in a great position to take the 5K. And with map point right here, it is going to be a big B play. Cho sees it coming. Everybody rotates in. They do have McCoy up high, so he's going to throw the wall down in a second if he can get close enough to drop it off, but it doesn't matter. Cho with the spray. Boo comes in, gets Passe down. Maiden trying to do what he can, but with the double in the corner, the From the Shadows working well for them. And now Cho's going to just spray them down, but Maiden with a triple.
Back now on a 3 versus 1. Spike looking to get a planet. He's going for the right click on the knives, but does not connect somehow. Does still have the operator. Will have to try to bait himself out from that trap wire. Or maybe never saw it coming. Cuzin's going to be able to get that kill. I like the way it was baited, at least to start things off. But they missed out on a defense up on B Heaven. And what I meant about that bait was when Cho was spotted by the Recon Owl, he actually fell all the way back towards spawn. So they probably think, okay, he's anchoring the site. Let's focus on the area to get the spike plant. But you still had Boo on the back of the site behind the wooden wall, where he could just spray through the smoke, or the cyber cages rather, and get a couple of kills. So it was nice to play it at least inside that site. But what was the huge mistake for Nolpenki was omitting the defense on the top of the Heaven.
Yeah, I mean, From the Shadows, he went into the default back corner, so the Boo did. And it kind of worked out, but as you say, Maiden getting up on that tower, it was just, that was the main part. So Vac, aggressive peeking once again. Look how far they've pushed down A. I mean, it's a lot of information play. They realize they're obviously over onto mid side, which is being conferred by McCoy and Loudly, but Loudly under pressure there. Dark Shadow will come back across from Boo, so Dark Cover, sorry, will cover it off. But as we said so many times, you know, smoke isn't a wall. They can push through it, and they are.
The big one here, though, is that they still have the showstopper, but it's going to actually, I think it's been used, and then Loudly at least get Paint Shell skill onto Jbzzz. They move inside that site now, though. We had the rotation coming in a little bit farther from the A side. Finally, it's met up as Boo is waiting to break that wall on that B Heaven. Now, as they move in as a group, the spike has just been planted, so they still have plenty of time to work with for this retake. Now, can they seal the deal, or will Jbzzz still stay alive to bring this to distance?
I mean, I think they're just looking for a pick. I think they're going to have to save this. Yeah, they're realizing they've got to save this. Take it to a potential 13-11. Don't risk it. Don't put yourself on it. Yeah, look at the money. They have to. They have to back and save.
What the hell, man? I was told that EU doesn't like to save.
Oh, no, they save. They're saved. Trust me. They have brains. They're not stupid. They're not just going to rush straight in. But yeah, they're realizing the situation. It's like, well, it's going to be a 12-11. You know, we've still got map point. It's risky stuff for them, though, because Jbzzz have turned it on. Suddenly, the coordination is there in the last couple of rounds. And
definitely.
They've figured out the attack at last.
No, it's very well played. This is a good way to start the grand finals here of the Trovo Challenge Valorant. The grand finals now, best out of 3, single elimination. Again, as D-Man said, the ones that win this matchup gets $5,000 for the team. That's $1,000 apiece, unless you have a 6th player or a coach. Maybe you still don't pay him. Keep that $1,000 for yourself. Second place, only $1,800. So there's a huge gap between this first and second place. So you don't want to throw this away. So maybe that's why they don't want to throw their lives away on that previous round for Nolpenki. And see here now, with this final round and regulation time, what will be the outcome?
Oh, they're going to push through that dark cover right into Boo. Loudly's there as well. Maiden's gone down. That was the mid. Did Boo see them? He didn't go for any opportunistic shots, which actually I felt he maybe should have. I mean, obviously it's easy for us to say because we can see that opportunity right there, but Loudly has rotated. Vac is still holding the B mid position, just making sure nobody comes his way. Now they're going to realize that they're in heaven. They've got themselves in position, but they are still very delayed on this push, which is why there's no rotates coming through. Now they're going to go onto site.
Oh no, Pain Shells to take down Boo. Unfortunately, Loudly falls out of heaven as well. Things are looking good, at least for the attackers. It started off so grim. A wall on top of that to prevent Vac from getting any operator shots. So we are getting closer and closer to a sudden death overtime. One more to go here. Make that 2 to try to save for Nolpenki to bring this to a second map. So Cho trying to move forward.
He's on a massive rotate. He's going around the world at the moment, Vac is. And that's why Cho's delaying at the moment. But this spike, it's going to be ticking the whole time. Vac finally gets in position and then just gets instantly annihilated by Passe. So Cho, unfortunately, left in this 1v4 impossible situation, the 1v3, sorry, and the blast pack. I mean, if you look at the health of Jbzzz, you know, if they just had a little bit more, they could have taken it down. But Vac came out of rope round. He only had his operator and didn't want to risk going tailwind over the wall, so decides to go around the wall, and it just left Joe on his own.
I still wonder what was the mistake there that Boo was able to eat so many paint shells and die.
Yeah.
Because dying from paint shells on an execution where you knew exactly where they were coming from, because you threw a dark cover at the same time too, you kind of put yourself out of position. I saw that he was trying to pull back in towards screens, so maybe the timing was a little bit off, ate those paint shells, and because of that, his teammate Loudly also simultaneously died towards A heaven. So the hold wasn't there. The armor was shattered pretty much, and Jbzzz is able to bring this into sudden death for the first map.
Oh, you hate to see the sudden death. It's going to be an operator battle, and Passe will come out on top against Vac. He just doesn't seem to be clicking right now. And that's a big advantage for the B play, and they're already setting up for this one. McCoy will throw the wall down. It's instantly getting battered down, but Cho collects the operator out of nowhere. Cho decides to deliver and does what Vac could not, and stops that B-long play, and that forces the rotate already from Jbzzz.
There's only, okay, they still have 2 players there. One at heaven, one towards the back of the side. They also changed it. Loudly is going to play it towards elbow. Then you have Boo trying to peek up towards heaven side. Giving his position away by this pre-fired shot, but still lands a headshot onto Jbzzz. So things are finally looking good here for Nolpenki. It was a hard-fought battle, but they're getting so close to this victory. They hear the footsteps towards heaven side. He does see the flank as well. He wins the fight versus Maiden. He's getting pushed forward by Frost Orbs. Now finally picked off by Hoppy, but you still have one alive inside the site.
Kizian has to go huge here. He's got McCoy just to his left. Can't manage to land the shots, and that's going to give his position away. The drop down of the box completely threw his aim there as Hoppy tries to get in on site. Loudly's the one that's tucked away for Nolpenki. And the spike. Are they considering with 20 seconds to go? They can't rotate. Doesn't matter. Hoppy finds one. Oh no! Caught with a heel. I think he was deciding on the wall. I'm not too sure what he was pushing to do, but McCoy will get him down. But Kizian's there. Gets the spike. 15 seconds. In a 2v1, makes it a 1v1 for the round, for the map, and would you believe it's Cho that steps up. He gets the operator off Vac's corpse and lands 2 vital shots with it, and they take it 13-12. Wow.
And I was going to say, even then, Cho was the bottom fragger in the server. So the round that mattered, picks up an operator out of all weapons where he was mostly comfortable with a rifle, still comes in with a 2K with the operator, and helps the team of Nolpenki win this first map. Their map pick of split 13-12 in sudden death. Second map now is going to be Bind, but overall, Boo, we talked about him. 21 kills, I think, on that first half there, D-Man. Now only 9 kills on that second half. We needed a little bit more on that side, too.
I mean, only. He drops a 30 bomb. I think he's kind of like done enough. But yeah, only the 9 kills in the defensive rounds. And that's what ticked it away. So incredible. 7-5 both halves on the defensive side. So let's have a look at some of the highlights. There's plenty of them. Things started well for Teaam Jbzzz, and they took the first half 7-5.
For sure. And 7-5, it goes down to that 7-5 you said again on that second half. Both teams very comfortable on the defender side, but there's been so many times where they could have sealed the deal, but some nice clutch situations.
We're probably going to see it in here. You know, we just talked about Cho winning the game. Think of the penultimate round in the first half when he's tucked on site on here on B, and he pulls off, I think, a triple. And it's or maybe a double. It's a 2v1. It's a round that he should not have won at all. I think we'll probably see it in a moment. But Cho actually only got 10 kills. But again, this is the ultimate thing about FPS games, right? It's not about how many kills you get. It's how important those kills can be.
That's right. That's right. impact frags is what we talk about too, and
yeah,
he's been there when the team needed it, so it was really good there for Nolpenki to get the victory of this first map. And you see there's so many highlights coming through. I mean, that's one of the rounds we didn't get to talk about either. Vac was stepping up a little bit with the operator too. We didn't really see an operator being used on the attacker side, only towards the end right now, where we start to see it open up a bit for the attacker side too of Jbzzz. So it's nice to see that they're able to pull that out of the hat, and that they have the arsenal needed now as they're going to move on to the second map of Bind.
Just think of the round before when we were talking about Boo. He went down to the paint shells, right? And they all crossed the
ramp.
The smoke. Yeah, they all crossed the smoke, and he didn't take a single shot. The cloudburst was down, right, on top of the dark cover, and all 4 of them went past, and he didn't take a single shot. He knew they were roughly there, but didn't take a single shot. This time we were saying, like, why didn't he just take a couple of chance shots through it? They're roughly, they know someone's going to be on A site. It's like, you're not giving too much away. This time he does. He gets Jbzzz out of nowhere. It was just like, I guess he just heard the footsteps from sewers and just like, I'm just going to take a shot. All right, lands it. 13-12 though, I got to be honest. I saw this one going very much a clean sweep, especially considering yesterday, I think it was, what, 13-4 against 2G4L for Nolpenki, but Jbzzz, they put it to them there. And of course, it does mean we're moving on to Bind in the next map as well, which I believe is going to be the map choice of Jbzzz. But Nolpenki are pretty good on that map. We saw some funky little things. They sent the boombot through the teleport, which opened the door, so Choke got inside the door and covered a defensive side, so they didn't expect anybody to be in there, and waited for like 20 seconds in there to pop out and surprise them. So a couple of little funky things from Nolpenki. We'll see whether they do it. Of course, that's going to be all after the break. So, guys, what a finals. Overtime already. I know we all hate that single round overtime. We hate it. We hate it. We hate it. Bring the CSGO triple round both halves. It's like
10K,
one round
whatever
and one half. Yeah, just do something different than one round. That's just horrible. Sudden death. Anyway, guys, we'll go to a break. When we come back, it's going to be map number 2. See you in a minute. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Trovo Challenge in association with GLL. I am Lee Demas Smith, and joining me is Van Silly. And we've just had an epic 13-12 of a first map on Split. And now, of course, we're moving on to, I think, probably the most balanced map so far, maybe, which is Bind in the game so far. I mean, you could argue Haven, but I think Bind is probably more balanced.
Yeah, and I think when I was talking about it with Simo and we were broadcasting it before too, and we're looking at Bind, a lot of people, again, similar to Split, it's like, oh, is it more attacker-sided? Is it more defender-sided? But Simo tends to lend that it's lean towards where it's more style-based. So do you prefer to play more aggressive, that's going to help you on the attacker side, or vice versa? How did the team adapt to any type of attacks that's coming on the defender side as well? So we'll have to see. I mean, when we're looking, I'm looking at it based off the first map between Jbzzz and Nolpenki, both of them seem very, very comfortable on the defender side. So what type of tricks can you come out here on your attacker side to break the armor, break the defense of your opponents? That being said, though, you mentioned it, or I mentioned it, and I think I saw it, that Nolpenki runs Sageless sometimes on Bind. So I don't know what difference do they add. Do they add more smokes? What do they do in that case?
So I expect to see a double Sova. Because they use the shock darts over on A site. So what we've started to see is the meta, the way it's developed, is obviously with the attacking sides on A site, they're starting to get the set plays. Sometimes you do really be using the Sage, so they get the wall down, and then everybody sets up, they get the standard plant position. But of course, that's now being countered by paint shells, shock bolts, charges, and everything else, satchel charges, everything that comes over the top, maybe even probably see a brimstone maybe in there, or maybe a breach. It's interesting. I'm really interested to see how this one's going to play out, because obviously there's a lot of agent options that you could use in there. We talked about the lack of flashes, lack of a breach effectively in the previous round. Breach is definitely something we've seen. We saw some really nice plays from Fabricant in the Rise of Titans play with the flash approaches on B long. holding the angle, keeping a camera in the corner just slightly out of vision, and the second people push B long, flash out, bam, and wipe them out. And it was so effective, and it caught them a couple of times. So I wonder whether we're going to maybe see a breach change in here. The fact that the last game went so close may actually give them some pause for thought. And don't forget, they lost earlier on. 13-10, I think it was, on Bind, was what Nolpenki lost on. So a very close game for them, and they maybe had a couple of things to adjust from that matchup.
There's also a chance where they could use a double operator if they wanted to. Yeah, that's actually quite interesting. Okay. No Sage and Arena coming through, and that's going to be for the attacker side starting off here of Jbzzz. So they're not running a Sage into that comp. So I thought it was going to be Nolpenki, but at this time, it seems as though it's going to be pretty much default right now for Nolpenki from the way they want to use it. You see the Brimstone, as you talked about here before, D-Man, but on the attacker side, this is a very interesting one.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of that. I don't know what to think about that. I guess we'll see how it plays out. I'm just trying to think of the options for Leah. There's so much cover in this map that I just feel that Leah may not be as potent as it would be, say, on Haven, but I guess we'll find out how it works out. Of course, it does mean they have, as you say, switched away from the Omen and gone for the Brimstone as well. But looks like Vac is sticking to his jet, as we kind of expected. And McCoy also on that Sage. So the Sage will be deployed over on B site, but it is going to be the A hit. So Incendiary coming over, waiting for the spike plant sound to come in, and then immediately pops that molly down. Does it work out? Well, Maiden will get loudly picked off. So Hoppy is going to try and come in for the refrag. But look at this triple stack play. 5v4 retake. We'll see how it works out. Hoppy gets back and immediately gets away.
Satchel charges 2, double P coming forward. It's going to have to be Hoppy with the close range battle, but Miko and Loudly goes for the double push. They both win their fights. Passe, though, still watching it passively. No pun intended here, as he gets 2 kills of his own. Boo gets 1 on that trade. Cusian at short A. That means we only have a 1 versus 1 remaining and a low HP Brimstone of Boo trying to move forward. Taps on the bomb. Cusian with the wall bang as he runs away, and the pistol round comes in favor of Jbzzz.
Big round. Big round. And at one point, it was a 4v2 until Kizian pulled off that quick double around the spike site. So, wow. That should really have gone Nolpenki's way, I feel. I'm not convinced by the triple stack into Lamp Room. I don't know if that was quite paid off as much as they can. But as you can see, it was far from clean for Jbzzz, which is why we're seeing this janky buy coming in here. Hoppy actually going to stick with the pistol, so maybe looking to get the operator next round for somebody. We'll find out, of course, with the Marshal and 3 Spectres.
It starts off with them trying to get some information at long B with the Sova drone that's going to come out. We have 1 pre-firing as we're in the eyes of JB towards this hookah, but they sort of have a 3-man stack in this area. It's going to be very hard for Jbzzz to get anything done here. So yes, I like it that there's only 2 players shooting, so he could have an idea that there's 2 players playing in there, but won't have an idea of a third. They could even go for a triple peek if they want to, and here it comes, and they win that fight.
That's going to give them a Spectre, nets them that, which could come from window. That's a bit deadly. Maiden's got an angle, sees the one. He's going to try and chase it down. Is he going to try and bait him? Yes, he does. And Loudly also got the second with the paint shells at range. And now, this is problematic. A Thrifty will come through. I mean, it wasn't a massive invested round from Jbzzz there, because obviously it was the Spectres, but still, that's not great.
It's a flawless round, man. A flawless round on pistols that they had on that previous round. And a
bonus, right? Because they saved the money because they've kept the Spectres. They got all the Spectres. They got all the weapons.
Yep. That's amazing for that round, because it's despite them not going for a full upgrade for Jbzzz, they still don't have that much money to work with. So now they have to go with 2 Marshals, 2 Sheriffs, and a Ghost to try to win it back. But I gotta say, yeah, at this fountain side.
Oh, that was nice. Nice little cheeky peek from Passe. I don't know if he got spotted out, but he didn't. He didn't get spotted out because the dart, the dart bounced into Octagon,
wall,
right? Yeah, I think he went into Octagon, so he didn't quite see it. But anyway, Boo goes down, and the push comes in on a shot.
Loudly's waiting there with that Spectre that he picked up on the previous round. Gets the kill, destroys the boom bot at the same time too. Mikoy is also taking his job towards the shower side. Loudly dropping the spike carrier as well, face to face against Hoppy. who actually seems as though purchased a Vandal, I think, if I'm not mistaken, at that point. But then Vac retaliates with the Operator. That's going to make it 2-1. And what I didn't like, Demon, that I was trying to say 2 rounds ago there was, I didn't like the fact that Maiden pushed in towards that spawn site to fight against Loudly when he has the spike on his back. He should have just went for the plant.
And I think we're starting to see the Loudly I expected to show up now, right? 7 kills already on the board, 3 rounds in, and now they've all got the Vandals in-house. It looks like it's going to be an aggressive push on B as well from the defensive side, so they're going to be going straight into Jbzzz. Vac, meanwhile, he's switched up positions. He gets the peek out, and he gets Jbzzz down. There you go. So this is something we've kind of got used to seeing with Vac. He'll play multiple angles. He'll peek long, he'll peek short, he'll peek over on A, and suddenly it keeps everyone guessing. And Loudly, I just feel this is his map. This is his map. This is like, he feels at home. You know, everybody has that one map. Yeah. It's just like, yes, this is my map. This seems to be his map.
Dude, he's got a triple kill in that round. Boo picking up the last kill. At the same time, yes, you could see it. The crosshair placement is perfect. The shots are crisp. It takes about 2-3 shots. He lands with headshots every single time. Paint shells to be thrown, expecting where the opponents are coming from. Lands those paint shells as well. I don't know. Like you said here, is Reyna going to be useful going in on this map on Vine? On the attacker side, I don't know. I think the heals overall would be kind of nice because they lose a stage for that. You could self-heal as the Reyna, but you don't have that much else in terms of support for the rest of your team. So you and Jbzzz have to go to work right now, being the 2 duelists, being the players that have to initiate the battles. But his teammate Jbzzz is also scoreless so far in this matchup.
Loudly's gone aggressive. Caught a little slither of the shoulder peak, but didn't work out for him, so he will back away, but he's immediately got back into position, and Boo, his comrade in arms on A site, will get himself the spray down. Passe picked off. That was over at B long. Well, the shower play is not working. This is, of course, just Sheriff. There was a single Marshall in there, but
big flank.
That was dealt with. That was Passe, and nothing else they can do from this round yet.
Chose on that big flank too. Heard the footsteps coming miles
flawless
away.
Again. That's 2 flawless back to back.
That's money. And that's why Cho at that point, he's like, am I going to die at some point so I can get a real gun? Because he's just running around with Spectres and still getting kills here. And there you go. He's just going to upgrade no matter what. So there's going to be 2 Phantoms, 2 Vandals, and an Operator. Full gun round finally coming in here for the attacker side too. And now this is where it's going to get interesting too, because I saw Passe with an Operator on a previous round on Split. This time we are going to have an Operator for somebody else. So we'll see if that could come into favor. I think it's Cusian that has it. Yes, indeed, he is. As a Cypher, 2 players still scoreless right now for the attacker side as well. But so far, everything seems to be on lock and not anymore. The battle comes into their favor. Cusian gets a second kill onto Loudly too. The trades were trying to be attempted to be done towards that shower side, but now gives a chance here for the A hit.
That was very patient from Boo there to wait for Jbzzz. Gets into the teleport and just backs himself away, but
love it.
It is going to be a 3v3 retake. Orbital strike doesn't net anything, and actually they go for the bathroom plant, which is unusual. It normally is a tucked in by elbow, but on U-Haul, sorry. But Passe will get McCoy down. Tizian with the camera on site, so it gives him the information. Play, but Passe going down in that spot could be a problem. They will get the dark cover down, so it forces them to push through smoke blowingly. But with the sky smokes already down, as I say, look, I think you can see, like, the way they've smoked it, they were kind of expecting it to be in default spot, and now they've kind of realized, oh, we've got to push into that, and it's actually their own smokes that are backfiring on them.
Yeah. Now Boo, because of that, will probably have to save. I don't even know why he threw a molly on that on his own spike as well. So that was a little bit questionable. So Jbzzz are going to be able to take that second round for this first half. But I do see why they're applying towards the shower side, because they lost so many players. They lost also the showstopper from the Raze from that teleporter battle versus Boo. And then Boo actually threw down the orbital strike towards the default spot so that his teammates would have enough time to rotate and try to take it back. But like you said, questionable how the pulse plant happened with the amount of smokes that remain for Boo that smoked themselves out.
Double Operator, Loudly and Vac.
Yeah.
Don't know. I never know what to make of the double op play. I mean, Loudly's going to use it and go aggressive on showers. So, or bathroom showers, very preferred, of course. So he's going to go and use it over there. Meanwhile, the other one is at B long, which is Vac we're looking at here. So he's going to see the owl drone, realize he's going to be under pressure. Tailwinds away. And that's the beauty of playing Jet. That's why he used it. He gets him out of them sticky situations when he gets stuck there. And the Hunter's calling, Hunter's Fury is not going to find anything.
Yeah.
Wasted ult.
Even the attackers are falling back here towards this A side. And like I said, the operator, double operator setup is very good on this map. Very good on Ascent. Very good on Haven too. Split is where we only see one operator most of the times. But seeing that cover, if you're missing the shots from Heaven, you can go in towards towards towers. You can go Heaven, boost spamming through the cyber cages, getting the first kill. And now you see it. There you go. The operator is heading towards the A Heaven side. Lear to come out, at least to get a spike plant, but they still have a 1-minute advantage for Nolpenki on this retake.
I think that's the first real Lear I've seen, and it didn't really net much, but Kizian will find loudly up in Heaven, so not quite able to get it. Now, Vac is actually up on close. There goes the stim, so Vac's going to go straight in with the Blade Storm, see if he can manage to get some click going. Who will find Jbzzz? Oh, and the backstab from Cho comes in, and now Kizian trying to do what he can. The Rainer's coming back from site. He was actually pushed all the way up onto the other side of Lamp. Passe will go down. Hoppy comes in and gets the double on site. And I don't think they were expecting him to come from their site because they pushed in and around Lamp Room. They just assumed it was clear.
Yeah. I don't know, and the same thing for Jbzzz because the timing was a little bit off. I saw Passe, he was helping out his operator towards that short A of Kuzian, and then he decided to rotate all the way back through the showers to get another angle to protect the bomb, or the spike rather, which gave a chance for Cho to come in for the backstab and take down the operator. So things look very good on the defender's side. They even put the Cloudburst onto the spike for them to try to go for the defuse. But then the surprise coming in from Hoppy with that raise. So we questioned him before. He's able to redeem himself at least first here because he's able to clutch that, or help the team clutch that 2 versus 3. Now that they have 1 round to tie things up, he's going to be the first point of entry inside this B side as well. Can he get the opener now?
Well, we'll see. Doesn't look like it. Cho's got himself the double. McCoy's boosted up and elbow as well. But Hoppian does come in. They will get the res. Oh my god. They have to eat that one to the face. And oh, Cho goes down. McCoy, Cholo. Yeah, he's going to get picked off. So Hoppy has delivered on the Rainer so far. But Boo's in on site. And now in a 2v1. The Lear comes in. Vac in on site. 2v2, sorry. I do hate those red crosses at the top. They are the worst UI kill things I've ever seen in my life. Is he sticking it? No, he's not, because Vac will go down and Hoppy gets the 4K in the end. So, well, you know what? He's making the Rainer work. I'm not too sure if utility-wise it's paying off. It's just simply is. Anybody want the operator? Passe's bought one. He's like, what? He's like, bro, I got one for you.
No, it does help, I think, at that point. It showed how he was farming a little bit towards that elbow side. Close range combats of 4K for that round for Hoppy too. Unfortunate that on the Nolpenki side that they actually got a wall bang for attempting to go for a defuse inside the side, so they know exactly how to do the wall bangs. And I talked about it yesterday too. I mean, as a teammate who's dead, you could just hold the control to bring up the minimap and tag where the spike is, so people could just wall bang it easily too for their opponents that are still alive. Now at this point though, you have 3 ultimates available for both of these teams. It's going to be a highly aggressive round, I think, when you're trying to have these ultimates ready and utilizing them for the executions and the retakes. We'll see what happens. So far, they've pulled everybody out from the defense from B to A, while they're still holding slow for the attackers on a default hold.
Yeah, and look at Passe. Look how deep he's sitting, expecting Vac to push down B long. He's just sitting back, waiting. Weakensaw, of course, they're gone for the 4 stack because they're on. Are they on an eco? I didn't actually check. I assume so. No, actually, it is weapons. So
no, they got weapons.
They have completely bought into it.
Yeah, a huge gamble for them for that stack.
If they push through on showers here, that's a big mistake. Kizian will get loudly down though, so we'll try and set things up. But yeah, the Sky Smoke will come in and they're going to rotate over towards B.
There's only 1 player waiting in there so far. It's going to be Cho, has the camera up as well, hiding inside the tin. Paint shell towards the back of the site. Actually, he's in the back of the site, so forced out of position. Showstopper to open it up. He's trying to find him. That will not connect, and he does not connect the kill. How do you whiff so many shots? Jbzzz gets the frag. At least he's traded out by Miko, but that shouldn't have happened. 12 seconds left on the clock. The spike lucky to get planted, but an orbital strike comes down. I told you it was going to get hectic towards the end with the ultimates here. And now as we push forward, up shot from Passe, Qzin as well onto Boo. Now there's only 1 second remaining. The spike has been planted, Happy gets the kill, and they get the round now, and the lead for Jbzzz.
How does Cho not land the shot? The showstopper goes past him, he gets the weapon back out, and all this time Cho's sat there painting a picture around him of where the bullets are going. I don't even know how that happened.
It's like one of those connect the dots paintings.
Yeah, and it was...
Line it up.
He had a Phantom as well, right? Which doesn't spray that bad. I mean, it's...
heat of the moment, heat of the moment.
Panic moment, but now we can see, of course, it will be a bit of a thrifty round coming out. We'll see, of course. Nolpenki picked up the last thrifty they had here. There is the one weapon. We see him dashing away, and they are going to try and chase it down. The Owl drone will try and mark him out, but oh, hello, Maiden catches McCoy and Cho. The Sheriff's not going to pay off. Sorry, Marshals. Sheriff.
No, the
right
Sheriff,
the first time.
Yeah, you got it right. You got it right. Yeah, Sheriff not paying off there for that flank from Boo. Maiden wins that fight with a classic headshot. Literally classic. As Vac is trying to move forward now. Lost the orb. They teleport into A. It's an open site right now for Jbzzz. They have 5 players alive moving inside that site, and they get a plant as well at the triple, confirming 300 credits for each, while Hoppy gets the last 2 towards the teleport rotation. So Hoppy at this point, if we actually hit that tab later on and check that scoreboard, he should be high up there because we've been seeing nothing but his name. Yep, 12 kills, followed by Qzin at 10. Yeah, they're actually opening up here. Qzin with the operator definitely is helping versus Passe.
I think Loudly was on 10 4 rounds in, so he hasn't got much in the last 6. It has all been in the way of Jbzzz. The last 5 rounds unanswered, but you know what? This is relatively balanced. I would say it does favor slightly towards the attackers, as you said earlier. You know, I'm discussing with Simo. It's like, is it balanced? I think this is probably the most balanced of the maps. But as you say, it's very much down to the style of play. Jbzzz choosing not to peek, waiting for maybe the aggression to come through. And look, they've got Cho into that teleport. I talked about this before. So I don't know whether they've used the battle bot this time to get through. I guess they may have. And it's got the boombot, sorry. It's got Cho into the teleport. But it doesn't matter because they're not coming this way. It's going to be an A play.
Yeah, Passe looking for that battle against Vac, who will lose it, but the A play is happening right now. We do have one inside view. He's trying to spam through this dark cover as Maiden. Here's the reload, so he's going to push himself. Might try to catch him off guard. Will be able to do so, and Boo falls. Meanwhile, though, Loudly was able to get paint shell kills. A second kill into Maiden at the bottom of the pipes, and Jbzzz trades it out. Sees a second one towards that top. Op shot miss. Paint shells heading towards that heaven as well. But it is a one-man, make that a two-man disadvantage for Jbzzz, as he's by himself at 33 HP, looking to clutch this.
Is he going to rotate? I mean, he's got 29 seconds. If he's going to do it, he's got to go now. Cho is ready for the backstab. It will be the rotate, so he's going to rush through. Cho heard it. Cho heard that straight away, so... Oh, no. Not really working. The trap working wonders. 15 seconds in on site, has to get the spike down as quick as possible, but instead he looks like he wants to try and cover off his positions. Realize he's going to get pressured, gets McCoy, but Cho comes in. Nicely done by Nolpenki to all peek from multiple angles at the same time. And it gets one of those important defensive rounds now with the last of the half.
Yeah, it's a tough one there. I mean, it's a solo hold into the B site with nothing but utilities. A camera and a trapwire was enough to waste enough time and give a chance for the teammates of Nolpenki to rotate over. So nicely played there by Cho from the way that he placed it, for the way that he wanted to push forward on that flank as well. He's putting the camera at the exact same spot where it paid off for them before. And in this last round, you see them trying to go for a 3-man push towards market side.
Nets them the kill again. Jbzzz has been caught out quite a few times there. There's the BattleBot. This is what we talked about. So that's BattleBot's been Boombot has been sent over through the teleport. It opens the door for Cho to go in, and Cho sits in defensive. And it caught a couple of people off guard before. It may actually catch off. I think it's Passe that's there. If he gives his position away, of course he's got the information to work off. But Boo taking down Maiden. They're not going to rotate too heavily for this one, but Hoppy snuck in with the spike.
Yeah, now even he's going to get the leer onto Boo. Easy kill. Hunter's Fury on top of that as well. So the A side is now open. You once again have a big flank coming in from Cho. Boo is going to try to But 2 players coming in from the Heaven. Empress being popped as well from Hoppy. Passe watching that flank. He knows that so many times Cho has come on that big flank. This time he's watching it. This time he wins it. It should be a round here secured for the attacker side. No, I'm speaking too soon. Vac popping out here, the Phantom Knives, but it's traded off by Passe. A 1 versus 1. Why does the wall go up?
Yeah. I don't. Why did McCoy? Did he think it was in the other corner?
I'm assuming so at this point.
I think he was. He was thinking of going for the res, was he? Maybe
I don't even think he had a res.
He did. He had the res available. I mean, it was the final round of the half. I don't really know. Maybe he brain farted. I'm not too sure. I'm not really sure what the plan was there. But anyway, he walled himself off it and could probably have got the second peek, because if him and Vac would have peaked at the same time, they knew roughly where he was. But anyway, 7-5 the first half score. Jbzzz come out on top in the attacking side. And now Nolpenki are going to have to set themselves up some sort of stalwart defense. The roles reversed. Jbzzz going to set up themselves a decent defense here. Nolpenki, why are they going to attack? I would say their team is actually better defensive than it is attacking. So I kind of worry for Nolpenki here.
No, definitely. And we'll see that's going to be the case, though. They're going to be more comfortable on the attacker side. We doubt it at this point, but it starts off well. A nice boom bot, but that unfortunately blows around the corner, so does not do any damage onto Jbzzz. But he throws satchel charges, one that lands right at the feet of his opponent, gets a classic headshot onto Vac, a second kill onto Miko as nobody's pushing him right now. Finally, he gets dinked, but he still wins that fight. A flawless victory coming in for Jbzzz and company.
I mean, how did they not... Yeah, I mean, just clearing lamp is like the default. They just couldn't do it. They just couldn't do it. So, with the classic as well, I think it was the classic and the half armor, right? He invested, or maybe he just went for the... No, he really went for the utility, right? Because he had the boombot out there. Yeah. So... Oh no, he did. He had the half armor as well. So it's the 400 invest with the armor. But yeah, Jbzzz, nice work from him, from Lamp. Lamp, U-Haul, it's got so many different names. So many areas the map.
They both work.
Yeah, it's the same with Hookah as well with Window. I'm not a fan of Hookah. There's not a Hookah in that goddamn room. Okay? Just gonna put it out there. There's no sign.
And there, I was just watching the stream there on Trovo as we had that delay. So the res only came up after he died. So he didn't have that res in that 1 versus 1.
He didn't have it. Right.
Yeah. So and then I saw that he was leaning through the cyber cage towards that triple. So they probably thought that it was planted for just showers. So unfortunate there. Yeah. So 8-5 rather here into this half, but they still open it up with classics pushing with such a classic move. Getting those smokes onto the APC, probably a wall on top, but Jbzzz is going to work here with the paint shells, dropping 2 of his own. So they don't even get the wall up actually onto their side, not on time. And now they teleport through to try to take it towards B to at least guarantee 300 credits. But Cusion's moving forward right now. He gets the headshot on Taboo with the Spectre. A flank coming in from Hoppy with the Bulldog. At least they get the plant. The defuse comes through. That's all you want to hear from Nolpenki. So hopefully they bring it into the next round.
Yeah, the eco round. And that's a plant. It was a full steam ahead plant as well, but didn't really get too many kills from it, which I think they'd probably wanted. The fact that Jbzzz has been playing very well on A site at the moment with those paint shells. He obviously got the double kill, so the paint shells came back again. And Kizian on the hunt there in the end. So, now investing in the round. It's actually more the defensive side that's going to be on the weaker buy because of the fact they're holding those bonus Spectres. They've got a Marshall in there. Let's see how it goes. It's going to be Op versus Marshall. We'll see whether Vac can make it work for him. So that was aggressive with the camera. We'll get spotted.
Still holding their spot here towards
look at the A short. Look at the A short push. Maiden. He's got around the side loudly with the pistol. Makes it work on the Sheriff, and he's going to be able to net himself a Vandal from that one.
Yeah, it's still 2 dark covers, falling back after picking up the Vandal too. But Raze on the other end, Jbzzz is pushing forward on his end, hits a trap wire, at least wastes that. But he himself wasted his boom bot, so they fall back into this after this buy. So they have a Spectre and a Vandal to work with inside A. Things are looking good for them so far here. They are walking back from the attacker side of Nolpenki back into this A side too, where the crossfire is looking very strong, though, for Jbzzz. Oof. Headshot coming in from Boo onto Jbzzz as they're trying to open it up. At least Paranoia to come out. That blinds a few, but not to Cho, who's able to connect on that kill onto Maiden. So we're going to be able to get this spike plan here towards this A side. Default at the APC. Rotations coming through. Marshall trying to ring through this smoke after a few of them got tagged, but it's still going to be the attackers, Nolpenki, taking the upper hand.
They're in on site, but it's not clean, but Boo will make it work for him. He's going to get a peek again and gets a 4K in the round. And the Boo that we saw playing on Split a moment ago, it started to turn up on the Bind attack side. He was so pivotal in their attacking half on Bind, on Split. Got 21 kills, didn't he, in the first half on the attacking side. Let's see what he can do here. Leading the frag score at the moment. Vac, again, struggling to turn up. Not really making it work, whether it's because they're not going for the peaks against him. And that's maybe where he's not being able to net it. They're playing far more passive defensively.
Yeah, he does have the op though still, right? So maybe he's not getting the chance to get those battles towards where he's looking at because we don't have those aggressive pushes. Usually in North America, we see a lot of plays. Oh, nice kill there. But we see a lot of plays coming in from a Cypher where they put the trap wires up and then they solo towards the A side where they actually try to battle towards B right after. But so far, though, it's still working out for at least some sort of coverage towards his B side, but the spike is all the way down towards the back of the spawn. So they have to come up huge, get these kills, and fall back and waste some times. Things are not looking good, actually, for Nolpenki, even if they get the openers in here.
In fact, we'll get Kizian down, so that's going to give them, lull them in the false sense. They're well aware that somebody was in window, but they've lost, as you say, the spike. They left it back around the side, so they're going to have to hold up all the information they've gained, and the advantage they gain, Boo, is just tucked in enough that it won't do too much shrapnel damage to him. And now the spike's picked up. But look at Maiden. So sneaky. Next to no health, but he got all the information he needed now. Jbzzz has rotated back to A Heaven, though, so it is only going to be the two in on site as the Sky Smokes come down and towards Pass A.
All right, well, at least they haven't lost that much, but they lost a lot of time. Now position given away as the execution comes through. We're still trying to spray through the smoke, and it works out for Passe. He gets the first pick onto Boo. They have to act quick. There's only 14 seconds left. The wall comes up. Miko gets 2 kills of his own, but then Maiden lines him up towards the back of the flank. And that is going to be the round coming in from Jbzzz. If only they had that spike earlier there, D-Man, it probably would have been a different story.
The 11 hit point Maiden flank absolutely paying dividends. Just snuck around after his battle with Cho. They knew he was coming. They knew that Cho had gone down on the back of A because he was sitting in that default defensive position, just covering off and waiting for it. So they knew that somebody was going to come around there. I guess they just expected him maybe to back away into A site in the end. And it just shows that subtlety of waiting. He saw the spike getting collected. He waited and bought the time he needed for his team to be in position. Now we're going to see a big A hit. They're going to try and explode into sight, and they're going straight into Maiden.
Passe, though, also waiting with the operator towards the showers. Loudly falls. A big fragger for Nolpenki at the beginning of the half. Falls down early in this second half, rather. And that's them still trying to push forward now into the showers to take control of that area. Maybe the orb at the same time too, but at least they force Passe back into the site. There you go. The orb's going to get picked up by the Sage, who does have the ult ready. So she's going to fall back and get the res. We're going to be back on a 3-on-3. Make that now again, or sorry, a 5-on-5. Make that a 5-on-4 as Maiden is able to capitalize on a frag towards short A.
Oh, Passe is landing the shots, making it count. Maiden and Helpy will do the job.
Man.
Loudly, the last man will get cleared out, but it's a flawless. And how does that count as a flawless? They got Maiden down. It's because they got him after the team died. The showstopper got him down, right? So it still counted as a flawless. Then he died after the round technically ended.
And no matter what, they want the round. They've been dominating so far here for Team Jbzzz. So at this point, it's looking very comfortable that we're going to see this third map because we do have an Eagle coming in now for the attackers. Absolutely no money to work with. Even if they wanted to force buy, and it didn't buy any of the Sheriffs that have Spectres and try to play Spectres long range, trying to open it up on long B, on showers, on short A. Very hard to do. So Sheriffs is a good choice. but they're still on pistols against rifles, boombots, and satchel charges coming in from the defender side of Jbzzz.
Oh, and Passe has been delivering with this operator round after round. Sure, it is just a save round, and well, Jbzzz is doing work, gets himself a quick triple, and will close out the round in ease with just Boo, the last man. Gets one headshot, but the paint shell's in his face, down to 18 health, and completely separated from the spike. So the defuse job is done, and now map point for Jbzzz. 6 map points for them, with Nolpenki toothless in the attack.
And that's what I was trying to tell you, right? They're with pistols, they're trying to win the round, they get the spike down, but with no money to work with, now they had to climb a very steep uphill battle just to try to bring this into sudden death. We've seen some sort of a comeback and a very close game on that first map. We're hoping to see the same thing here on the second half. But out of 6 rounds that have already been played, we've only won 1 round on the attack for Nolpenki. So if you're looking at the patterns, it's not looking too good for Nolpenki to try to bring this into sudden death overtime. So they're giving their go, giving all that they got, again, on a default strategy to work towards this A side short with the smokes and possibly the wall.
Well, the paint shells come down. They don't net too much damage this time from Jbzzz. He's actually put himself in a different position away from Lamp Room, so that may give the chance as the BattleBots race each other coming back towards it. Jbzzz does go down. The cloud bursts in. The smokes go down. They didn't make use of the wall as far as I could see in there, so maybe didn't have enough to invest into that, or maybe I just missed it, but I didn't see the wall going down on site. So maybe just trying to hold it until Reyna, aka Hoppy, goes looking into sight. Does manage to find him. No wall now because McCoy goes down and Loudly's also picked off. So suddenly 2 fall in a 3v3.
Hoppy trying to move forward right now. He's tapping on that spike, waiting for the players to peek out, but they're not even peeking. It's a trade after trade still. Orbital strike, they forgot to look at that one. And then he gets headshotted by Boo. Boo looking here now on this 1 versus 1, but there's no time. Passe is going to save the operator. Nolpenki stays alive into this round, and unfortunately Passe dies from the bomb radius too, or the spike radius rather. And I gotta say that the way that they played that round was interesting. It was different for Nolpenki because you talked about no smokes, you talked about no walls. I think the only thing that they did was smoke out towards that heaven on A side. Then they had the Jet Vac just dash forward across and just hold a crouch so he could fight towards the showers and towards the default site, and it worked because they got the openers from that, and then they just got a plant. They kept the wall basically for the U-Haul to avoid inner rotations on that end, and they just wanted to bring the fight straight to Jbzzz, which paid off.
Yeah, and I just wonder, it was the first time in a while I've seen Jbzzz not playing Lamp, so he's kind of like backed into the corner really under heaven, and the default not working, but Maiden has been so successful. Chose default hold back there has just not been netting him in anything at all. He's been picked off, he's losing out in the duels. It's just not been Cho's day, despite the fact he had that big moment at the end of the last map that won them the map 13-12. This one looks like it's almost certainly going to be a done deal for Jbzzz unless something spectacular happens over the next 5 rounds. Hoppy gets back down as he tries to push through the dark cloud. Not going to work out for him. Hoppy ready and waiting. Gets the mow down. Doesn't work in the end though, but Boo has been the shining light for them. Jbzzz doesn't get the boost he wanted there, and he gives his position away. Will get the blast back out. Boo gets a triple and makes it into a one-on-one. Passe in the window. Sky Smokes will come down and will block him out, and he's going to have to go around the world into long.
32 seconds left. Release the spike. It has been picked up, and it's still being planted at a default spot for Garden. I don't know if we're actually going to try to walk towards that side. No, he's just going to play it super passively and play for the guessing game. Boo is going to hide inside that tin, so he's going to have to body peek himself if he really wants to lean out. Passe is about to walk into his crosshair, thinking that Boo was heading towards Jay, and we thought that it was Slim, but at least Boo was there for 4K to keep the dream alive for Nolpenki.
And you know what? We just saw the orbital strike 2 rounds ago. He's got it again. He's got it straight back with the 4K in there. So big round from Boo, stepping up when it needed. 21 kills and 2 rounds keeping Nolpenki with their backs to the walls. But they've got to be careful. They keep losing players at the start of these rounds. And at the moment, it's been simply a couple of hero moments that have kept them going. This time they're going to use Vac with the operator to check out. Because Maiden's been peeking a couple of times, I think they're hoping for it. Yeah, he's holding the angle, waiting for Maiden to peek. And he's going to get himself the orb. Will he continue? No, he's going to play it passive this time.
Yeah, and you can see how much confident he was, right? How confident he was, rather. Puts the cloud, walks right away for the orb, and then walks back. So he knows that he's never going to be contested because the amount of times that he peek, they always won those battles. Now, at least for the rest of the attacker side here of Nolpenki, they are pushing forward towards short A. You have the Raze that's waiting, but you do have Hunter's Fury that could maybe help out to prevent them from getting their spike plant. So we are trying to move in. Pink Shells to try to come back, and Maiden still inside the showers does get the kill. There goes that Hunter's Fury, and that lines up the spike here right into the crosshair, where Maiden gets a third kill onto Cho. This is looking so grim right now for Nolpenki to get the spike plant, and Lear to come out too, full long range, and that is going to be it. 13-8 in this second map for Jbzzz. We are looking at a third and final map here on Haven in this grand final.
Well, once they got that defensive half going, and you got to remember, the first pistol round went down to a one-on-one as well, and that's where they came out on top. And unfortunately for Nolpenki, they were just not able to get their attack rolling at all. We saw the same similarities on Split and Bind in terms of their presence as defensive team rather than an attacking team there. Even their agents kind of alluded to it, you know, the fact that they are obviously using a Cypher that's really all about defense, and the fact that they had the Sage in there as well, which is only really going to be ever a support position on the attack. So nicely played out from Jbzzz. I did not expect this. I did not foresee this going the distance. I've got to be honest. I thought this was going to be a quick one and done, but it's not the case. And, you know, with an overtime and now a strong showing, which Jbzzz are probably going to be a little aggrieved that they didn't get that first map in the first place because they look so solid on it. Haven is going to be a very interesting game.
Yeah, and Haven, when you're actually looking at that team there for Nolpenki, they actually won their last two Haven matchups in the quarterfinals and semifinals respectively, winning 13-11 on Haven, winning 13-4 on Haven versus Mattistack and 2G4L respectively. They've lost recently about a week and a half ago versus Mattistack on this very map, 13-12 in Sudden Death 2. It's still going to be a very hard battle, I think, for Nolpenki in this third map. I was questioning a little bit here for Jbzzz using Arena on the in this composition rather than a Sage, but it seems that it paid off because him as the initiator was able to open enough for the team to move in together. The one name that we didn't talk about a lot on that first map there, D-Man, is Maiden on that second map. He did his job to hold out towards that A side on defense.
Yeah, did fantastic, and they didn't really have an answer. Cho was just falling to him every time. I'd love to see this. This is the sort of moment when you really want the API to kick in, and we can look at the head-to-heads and stuff like that. Yeah. Really break it down for the analyst type of segments for this, especially same with Jbzzz here. The amount of times Jbzzz got himself like a double or a triple on that A defense around Lamp was very impressive. Actually, to the point that in that last round, I saw he was in the right position at Lamp. He hadn't backed away towards Heaven. He was in that right position. I just knew they'd won the round already. So I already knew.
No, that's for sure. And if API, hopefully that's going to be happening soon. A big shout out to the Spike.gg, who have been working hard since Valorant came out to give us all these stats so far. Still in beta mode, but I'm pretty sure as the game continues to progress and more support that we get from Riot moving forward with this game, I'm sure we're going to see the website being a lot more developed here for the Spike.gg. But with that, though, we are waiting for this third and final map. Who do you think is going to take this one here, D-Man?
I don't know, honestly. I feel like Nolpenki are kind of sliding out of it slightly. I don't know. I mean, I think if they get a good defensive half going, I assume they are on attack, though, because this is not their map choice, if I'm mistaken. No, it's their map choice, which means they don't get the side choice, right?
Yeah.
So I got to assume that the other side. But then again, Haven can be an 8-4 attack in half, so it's a really strange map. It depends how the teams play it. Anyway, that aside, we'll go to a break. We'll get that map played as soon as possible. Let's get it on your screens and see how it goes. See you in a minute. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the European Grand Finals of the Trovo Challenge. It is Nolpenki up against Team Jbzzz, and currently are all square at 1 apiece. I'm Lee Demon Smith, and joining me is Vansili, who are going to be taking you through both finals for Europe and North America, which will be kicking off in just over an hour's time, actually.
Yeah.
At midnight here in German time. So we're going on to Haven, Vansili, and we've just been talking about it off air. Honestly, I feel momentum-wise and results-wise, this may go JB's way now.
Yeah, I don't know what you're seeing in terms of the scoreline for Jbzzz, but it looked like they were able to win those maps in dominant fashion, while it was actually closer matchups that were won by Nolpenki on Haven themselves. But again, it's matches that we weren't able to see, unfortunately, because we don't have the VODs of those. Those are probably going to come out next week on the YouTube of GL's channel, so make sure you guys check that out. GLL, I meant, not GAL, because I speak very fast sometimes. But definitely, it's going to be something that's going to be fun to look back and see how those maps were played.
Yeah, so I got to feel that if my cat gets involved, if
I
we
think your
don't
cat wants a
see,
piece. He's like, I don't agree with you.
I don't agree. If we don't get a good defensive side from Nolpenki, I think they're in trouble. I think they're in desperate trouble because their attack seems a little lacking. It was against Mattistack in the semis or quarters. I can't remember.
It was quarters.
It was the quarters, yeah.
Yeah.
And it went 13-11 at that point, and that was a really close game. And I remember we thought we were going to go overtime, actually. It wasn't until I think Nolpenki got kind of like a lucky round in there that it made it work for them against Mattistack. And Mattistack is kind of a mixed team right now. It's Timu's team, but it's, you know, they're changing players left and right every single game they play. Like Carlos was playing for them and the Rise of Titans tournament. So, you know, when Ocelot's back playing a game, you know you're in trouble.
You know he's having fun at least playing the game too, right? So
yeah.
It's nice to see Ocelot still around and still having fun gaming, and especially having fun with Valorant too. But again, I think if we're looking at how things have been progressing, we talked about how Vac, we wanted him to step up a little bit with the operator too, playing as the Jet. This could be one of the maps where he could actually help, right? Either you're playing on the attacker or defender side, you could still get good opening picks as the Jet. There's nothing but long and tight corridors, all long C, long A, even B to look down towards that window, and B to look down towards the garage side. I think this could still be very good for Nolpenki. We saw Loudly step up too. We saw Boo step up in that previous round. So if those three could actually step up all together into this map here, then finally I think we're going to see a closer game. But if not, I'd probably have to go with Jbzzz too from the last two maps that I saw.
Sticking with the Rainer, and it worked for Hoppy in the last map. You know, Sage can be strong on this map, no doubt about it, but as they stack out for the B site, there is a triple stack over at B with Loudly on the defensive side in window at double doors. Hoppy up close will get covered out by the dark cover, and that's going to force him to slow things down. It does force the boom bot out already from Loudly, so big investment drawn out, and they are going to go for the fast rotate to A now. Yeah,
and we also had dark cover towards the B link, which means that it's some sort of fake happening there. So you have a 4-man stack still towards the C side, and then the one that's holding towards the A side gets dinked down to 17 HP. Forced to fall back right now is going to be Joe, having to wait for his teammates, having to wait for his heal as well. But at least we get the spike down for Jbzzz, and even great post position.
Yeah, Kizian pushed down long in the defensive hold. It's probably going to catch somebody off guard here. Maybe get the both down. We'll get the one. Hoppy's in for the refrag on Loudly as well, and he's just going to heal himself up. Paranoid gets tossed out into the window, and that's going to give Maiden all he needs to take down McCoy. Boo does peek out. He has been the savior in the last couple of games, but he can't do it in a 1v3. And down on health. We'll see. Saw the gun of Hoppy for so long, gets himself the triple with Passe, and I don't think we're going to see the last man chase him down. Maiden, oh, you know what? Maiden is on the foot race. He's coming across. Oh, Maiden gets the cut down in the end. It was a bit of an omen on omen, and he wanted that one, that's for sure. But we were talking about it, right? If Nolpenki don't get that defensive pistol round, I kind of worry for them here.
But at least what I found questionable was them still chasing after Boo at that point from that spawn side. They gave away 2 kills, which gives a chance now for Boo to be already halfway through his ultimate. Getting 2 kills with Ghosts as well. He went back into his investment, could buy a Ghost into this round here. I was gonna think that he was gonna go for a full save, so maybe he could buy an operator for Vac into the next round. But we're gonna be a little bit more selfish into this round here because they have a 4-man push down towards Long C. Vac is waiting inside the dark cover, and as soon as he peeks out, Hoppy, sorry, and 2 other players waiting for him there. The flank comes through. Boo with the Ghost that he buys again, gets the kill onto Passe. So that's actually not so bad. 4-man rotation. The spike's going to go down, but it should still be the round coming in for Jbzzz.
Yeah, I mean, they're all stacking out from the same direction, and they're all going to go down long as well. It's just a 1-man pour through. Who collected the weapon? That's what I wonder. I didn't see who. It's Cho. Cho gets the Marshal into the window. So finds Kizian up in heaven. But Hoppy will get himself a triple spray down. Can't finish off Loudly. The last man standing on site. There's one above, one below. Actually, both of them above. Gets the headshot. Bounce. The paint shell's going in. Isn't going to be enough to get him down. He's going to stick it. He's got the support arriving with Cho. He can keep on sticking it. He's got the... Didn't get it! That was got up in the split second from Jbzzz. If he didn't pick that moment, that defuse was through.
Okay, so I was right to say that it was going to be Jbzz's round, but I didn't expect it for it to finish that closely. So finishing down the wire, a 2 versus 1, then a 1 versus 1. We were sticking that spike for Loudly. Some nice shots coming in there from that Sheriff of that Raze of Loudly, and some nice Marshall shots from Cho too to actually weaken a defense on the post-plant situation. So very difficult there for Jbzzz to hold. We're seeing some moment of a salvation. We're seeing moments of hope right now for Nolpenki on the defensive side. The amount of damage they're able to do with the low buy. Now with a big buy, they get a first kill onto Passe on top of that. So that's C down on the attack.
Well, Jbzzz have managed to find some way through the Nolpenki defenses, but they have dragged it close to those one-on-ones in 2 rounds, so there is that glimmer of hope for Nolpenki fans out there. Boo has himself from the shadows ready and waiting to go to try and quickly get into defensive position, but again, double doors left empty. Dark cover goes down there, but that's just simply a smoke. You can pass through it. You can see Loudly is holding the angle, but now the sky smoke goes down. And now the push into C will come through. The Sky Smoke, they're going to force the Sky Smoke, so they're going to be pushing blindly into Loudly. The Leer goes in. Is it going to be enough to slow him down? No, gets himself, pops out, gets the double, but Jbzzz gets a double in return. And now the shots. It's Vac down long. One from double doors. Actually, both going to come from double doors in towards Jbzzz. Jbzzz goes down. Did get the showstopper off on Cho behind. Does Kizian see him? No. Vac goes down, and the defensive round will go to Nolpenki. It got costly, but it's such an important round. And Vansili, we're talking about this. We're talking about, like, on Haven, I kind of expect a 7-5 attack and maybe even an 8-4.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. It could still be very balanced in terms of the attack and defense, too, on a map like this. It's normal to see that the attacker has a little bit more leeway, too, the attacker-sided team, because there is so many sites to work with, because the rotations are good. Especially having somebody like Hoppy playing as a Reyna on the attack could open a lot of opportunities to, for example, garage control. You get a smoke inside the window. If somebody's playing inside the window, they're forced to jump out to play towards the floor. You throw a Leer in there, a double peek, you technically win that fight 95% of the time, unless somebody gets lucky in the nearsighted battle. So they have a good composition, I think, for Jbzzz, despite not having a Sage. So they're taking the advantage. They should continue the advantage of taking as many rounds as they can on the attack, because now on the defense, they won't have that much, because they don't have a Cypher. They don't have a Sage. So information players is not going to be available for them. Nonetheless, though, they are pushing inside the A side. Speaking about the attackers here, as it's fully stopped now by Nolpenki on a pistol buy that they pretty much have, or a mixed buy that they have for Jbzzz. It's tied up 2-2.
Yeah, default round there. So Nolpenki holding steady, padding out stats. And we'll see. Vac's going to get himself boosted on the box. He's going to stay up here. I wonder if he's going to keep hold of this position. Hasn't gone for the operator yet. Doesn't really have the bank to do so. We'll wait and see when that comes into play in a moment. So they're using the tripwires on B and then one on A, as he said. He's using his camera on B as well. So they're basically leaving B completely open. Is what they're doing. And I wonder at what stage Jbzzz will realize that there is nobody there and they're just covering the links off instead. I do see that Maiden is kind of in on B site. He's probably going to realize that at the moment, but it doesn't matter because McCoy's got himself a quick double down, gets the heal off. We'll try and stick in the corner for the heal to come through, but obviously it's only going to tick slowly. And Passe in the end will get the damage done. From the shadows, goes back to long for Boo. Repositions himself into the dark cover. The spike still down though with Loudly getting Passe off.
Yeah, but there's a big flank coming in. At least somebody's watching it right now, but they're turning back towards long C. This is going to be big for Maiden right now. Cusian has to stay alive as long as he can. Even with the dark cover, that's going to help him for a bit. He does see Boo running out through the smoke, and his teammate has to come up huge and quick. But Cusian says, no, I don't need you yet. He gets a dink up the back at the same time too. Maiden moves forward. It's a 1 versus 1. Loudly finally retaliates back. Another expensive round for Nolpenki, but at least they get the round. That's what's important. It's a 1-round lead now for the defense as they have a 3-2 scoreline.
I thought we were going to get another one of those Maiden backstabs that we just saw a moment ago on Bind. As on Split as well. He's done it on both maps and made it work on all of them. But it will be the full investment now. So Vac on the operator. He's going to go for the A-long peak. I don't think he's going to be able to net anything there unless Maiden does look into it. It looks like it's going to be a default stack up this time. Maybe even the B play. Remember Maiden looked him to B a moment ago and realized it was clear. I wonder if we're going to see a bit of a B play here.
Starts off with that B play inside the garage, coming in from the garage side towards the spawn, but Vac still opens up towards long A with the operator. So that's what I was telling you guys. The operator there as the Jet could be in a lot of places dashing faster than others to get that first position and get the pick. He's already back on the A link. He lands his second shot onto Hoppy at the same time too, as they were looking to move forward inside that site. And now just like that, everything's has slowed down for the attackers.
Yeah, Vac quick rotate there, realized that the second he got the one on A link, it's like on A long, it's just like, okay, let's get straight over to link. It's probably going to be either a B or C play. C long had already reported nothing there, and it should be a simple spray down. McCoy doing a great job on the B site. It is the bread and butter for a Sage to be on that B site. Doesn't even bother using the wall either. Doesn't feel it's required, and Passage's just trying to get lucky through the smoke. Not going to happen. And it will be a
they were trying to get lucky too. He was able to spray 2 people down to about half health. One got healed up. That's the Cypher. He's also down to 33 HP himself, hiding in the cubby of B. Everybody's so close right now. I mean, he's pinned. They know exactly where he's at because the Raze is already watching towards that back spawn. Passe is going to try to walk through the smoke at the same time too. Everybody's trying to wallbang, but with 16 seconds left on the clock, you could safely say here it's going to be Nolpenki, and they actually made it a little bit more comfortable in terms of a win. They should be able to salvage the operator as well into the next round, so they're going to be looking healthy. Actually, they don't need to. It was close to 9K for Vec.
But, okay, maybe he's gone for the double. Let's have a look. Did they collect it? I don't know if they collected it. But as you say, he had a lot of money. They've gone 4 rounds back to back. So, and they haven't lost too much, certainly in that round. But
interesting.
No. Okay. So maybe just feeling it's just simply not working, or maybe expecting a bit of an A rush. I don't know. So maybe reading into this one, obviously they know it's a pistol stack, so probably expecting a bit of a rush into one of the sites.
And it's likely to be towards B.
Yeah. So trap found. Boo with the spray down, saw the full angle, got it lined up onto Passe and got some damage down as well in the process. He backed away. That Vandal doing work as McCoy now moves in with the Phantom on Hoppy. Sitting in the dark cover, waiting for them to work it. Spike plant down, but they know exactly where everyone is, and McCoy picked off. Nothing he could do. They're just going to wall it off, and now Jbzzz with the Sheriff. He's got a bit of work to do, trying to smash that down and get the defuse covered.
Oh! Hey, at least he lands it.
Oh, he actually landed that shot as well, but obviously the Marshal just doesn't have the stopping power. So it keeps hold of the Marshal, but and they got the spike down, so they're going to have good money coming into this next round.
That's right. I mean, they wanted the spike down. They got it. With pistol works, They killed 2 players, if I'm not mistaken, on a sort of a Marshall / pistol. They did their job. Jbzzz now falling behind by 3, losing 5 rounds in a row to Nolpenki. They have to come up on the attack right now. Cuzian with the Marshall is in a position to maybe look down towards sewer side. But it is going to be back with the operator towards short. He's going to get slightly tagged there. I don't think he'll need to heal. He's going to get the heal, okay. Even at 82 HP, he gets a heal up from the stage, so we're going to have to wait 45 seconds for that to refresh there for the stage on the defenders. Meanwhile, though, the attack seems to be heading towards A, and it seems to be very fast.
Cho gets himself the spray down onto Maiden, and Vac lands the shot, which will set things up. McCoy rotates him but gets cut down. And now we're into a bit of a tricky situation. Vac trying to get the cheeky peek, seeing if he can do it. They're all waiting for Loudly on the rotate. He's got a long rotate coming around the back of Long. Try and push in. Stimpack down, camera in action. Look at that. Cho just gaining all the information about their exact position so they can all drop in at once. Should have made it work. Hoppy will get down 1. Vac comes in. Bladestorm not going to pay out for him. And this is really a round they should have won. They had the camera. They had the information. They knew the defensive placements. And now the orbital strike comes in. That is it. That's going to be the attacking round. Loudly comes around the side and gets the 1 down, but it's going to be quickly answered. And now Boo tries to rush in on site. Sees a little glimpse. Can't make it work. Kizian comes out on top.
Yeah, even on top of that, even if you won that fight, no time was left. All thanks to the orbital strike. Usually you see it on as soon as the spike gets planted, but Cuzian was in a different position there, stuck inside Hell, so he wanted to make sure that he could get into a different position by actually blocking the way of the defenders to rotate back from the spawn side. So a good round coming in from Jbzzz. With the Marshall that they had on a previous round, they didn't invest that much for one of the players. But at least now this round, it's going to be a full gun round for both. Zach is going once again with the operator. I'm jealous of that skin, actually. I wait every single day for that to come out in my store, and I haven't seen it yet. At least he destroys the boombot with it, and Miko still gets the first kill towards Long C onto Hoppy.
It slows the attack a little bit, but they're actually rotating into this one, so Maiden's clearly caused enough ruckus over on B site that they've pulled 1, 2, now 3 players over towards it, while there's still 2 and the spike waiting down Long. But we'll see whether the wraparound does come through, because they're both staring at each other either side of this doorway. Miko with the wall ready to go. Jbzzz will get Boo down. Here comes the Sky Smokes down. And it is just a ruse over on B side. It draws out the paint shells and the wall as they back away. And now Vac is in trouble. He gets himself the spike down. Oh, 1 health left though. As he gets caught out in the end by Jbzzz. And now Maiden gets McCoy in the rotate.
Yeah, he did his job at least to get that first kill with the operator. The showstopper somehow did not connect onto him, surviving with 1 HP. Cho is going to try to rotate very close. If we get a kill early into this round, or into this post-plant situation, it could definitely help on a 2 versus 2. But now that we've waited, because of the dark cover, has made it very slow right now for them to try to attempt something. Another dark cover that's going to put them out of position. They spot the last one towards the C ramp. It's going to be Loudly at least that gets the satchel charge kill onto Cuzian. Now it's a 2 versus 1. Dark cover coming out once again. Actually, sorry, it's a Paranoia, as Jbzzz is going to be able to move out towards the right side of the site, pick up the kill on the assist from that Paranoia, and now we are 1 round away from tying things up once again.
Yeah, and that's a worry for Nolpenki. I still question their attack inside. They're very good on the defense normally, but it does seem that Jbzzz, not only are they managing to breach these sites, they have a really good hold on them when they get in position. And now for Nolpenki, this is going to be aggression, actually, from Boo. Boo, who only got the 6 frags so far, 9 rounds in. Considering how strong he's been in the previous 2 maps, we'll see whether he wakens up when we get on that attack inside. Vac going aggressive on the window down mid. Look at this. Maiden's almost in on sight on short, and Cho's not going to see him until last second. Now he knows. The call comes. The rotate from both sides is on. Who's going to get there the quickest? Oh, Cho needed to land that shot.
Yeah, he at least got the first one there. He's not traded out. A cyber cage to come out through the audio queue as Dorena still trying to move inside. Vac already in great position, but he's going to get leered out. That's going to give a chance for a Hoppy with the Guardian to get the headshot. So it's going to be the bolt action action versus the scope, and it's going to be the Guardian that wins it. The spike gets planted. It's a 4 versus 4. They still have a res, though, from Miko. So if they can move forward and clear out just a bit from this showstopper to start things off, we'll definitely get to see the res come up at the same time, too. But no, Miko gets picked by Cuzian with the Phantom, so no res is up. Lally trying to move forward with the Sheriff. Connects onto Cuzian, but then not onto Jbzzz, as his teammates were slowly falling down left and right. And now we have, once again, a tied game of 5-5. And you said it here, D-Man, sorry, we needed some more rounds on the defensive side for Nolpenki, and it's starting to slip away one more time.
They have to pick up these last two. They have to, and I just don't see it happening. I've got to be honest. I feel that Jbzzz have got the better of them. And this may well slide the way of the Frenchman as they start to turn the cogs here on the attacking side. It is a force once again with the Bulldogs coming out for Nolpenki. The aggression maybe from Boo. It's going to be quickly spotted out there. It wasn't him that shot there, but I think he got spotted. Yeah, the recon bot on him and it hit the paint shells, forced him away. Orbital strike cuts him down, and the spray in the end really nicely executed there from Jbzzz to make sure they get the man, but loudly answers it quickly with the double, down to 6 health and falls.
Yeah, traded out by Maiden. We still have players inside the cubby of C. Passe gets the option onto Miko, as we heard a fire in the hole. So a showstopper did come out, but no kills coming through, as we're still trying to clear out this A side. Hunter's Fury does not clear anybody yet inside B, as Jet was able to fall back here, back in the corner by the platform, just holding it behind. But it's a ring around the rosy battle that somehow Maiden still wins against Cho. That's the second time I think that Cho was supposed to get a kill and whiffs the shots and loses the battle, giving a chance now for Jbzzz to move forward to the A site, get the plant, and even get a 3-on-1.
Yeah, and I can count on probably multiple hands how many times Cho has lost to Maiden in that duel, you know, looking at the previous maps as well. It's just not been his day, it seems. And now Vac, well, all he got was a Bulldog. He has managed to rescue himself a Phantom now, but coming into the final round of the half, this is not looking great defensively. You know, still 7-5. It's not the end of the day if they go that way. 6-5 will be the score. Nolpenki is going to be pretty much broke. Don't think they're going to have a great deal to purchase into this final round. This is why Vac is just going to have to back away from this.
Yeah, definitely. With the rifle or the guns that he has, he wants to save it into the next round with this Phantom. Moving into the last round, the money looks super grim right now for the defenders of Nolpenki. They're not going to have much to work with. Look at that. 3,300, 3,200, 31, and I think 29 on that last one. That means that Vac could drop one weapon, buy a full buy, and then everybody else has to go small shields and then rifles if they want to. But if they want to go full shields, then they're going to be Spectres or Bulldogs trying to win this last round.
Yep, and that's exactly what they do. So Loudly and Vac still only going to get the half. He buys himself the weapon, buys the weapon for a teammate, sorry. And you can see Cho just on the Spectre. He hasn't had a great game. And in fairness, none of them have. This has not been a great defensive half at all. Very different Nolpenki we're seeing today. I feel that we've seen in the last two rounds. Me and Jason have been covering these, and we just assumed and looked at the way that it's been going. Quick 2-0s and dominant in those 2-0s, that we expected this to be a clean sweep. But the Frenchman, Jbzzz, have really turned up today. That's going to be a good start, though, for Vac as he gets Maiden down. But the spike already planted. McCoy not going to be able to get anything from it. There's going to be the neural theft, but surprise, they're all on B side.
They're all charging through right now. 2 more plays to go on the attack, and finally a hold that's looking good here for the defense. But the spike has yet to be planted. Hiding in the back of Gong. Nice into the shadows so that he could actually get some information. Spotted at least a Sova in the front of B. But with 52 seconds left on the clock, the spike carrier is still holding behind Gong. Now with this owl drone to come out, so we're going to try to clear out this site. The camera is up at the same time too, so we're going to probably wait for Passe to come in and break that up. No, actually, Cuzian is going to get the first kill onto Loudly. The camera should have been broken by now too, which gives them a chance to work back inside this B site, but they're on a 3 versus 2. Cuzian with only 8 HP, and they're starting to walk towards C.
They're going to back away. Cho is going to be at the window and manages to get the information. He didn't get the kill on Passe. Cuzian still only on the 8 health as well. And I think Cho, Main's even lower. So they're both on absolutely nothing here. Passe, 82 health. That shock dart, I tell you what, that could kill someone if it actually caught them, but it doesn't matter. Vac comes around and finds the head. And now 8 health is all Kizian has, and to rescue a 6-6 half here, Vac's going to go looking, finds him, gets himself the man and the defuse, and, well, the captain coming through just at the right time. The Lithuanians hold out 6-6 in the half. I'm not convinced on their attacking side yet, but we'll see how the pistol, if that can net them some sort of benefit, then maybe. But if I gotta be honest, if I see Jbzzz pick up the pistol, I think they might not look back.
Yeah, no, definitely. The pistol round coming in for Nolpenki will definitely dictate the pace of the second half now that they have the attacker side. But we called it. Maybe 7-5 is something normal. 8-4, that's normal on the attacker side too. Now that it's 6-6 though, and we still think that it leans towards the attacker side, it could still look pretty hopeful for Nolpenki so far, but they have to crack. They have to start cracking. I mean, Loudly and Vac, we talked about them, and the third person I talked about that needed to step up is Boo. Boo currently only at 7 and 10. If he's able to open it up as well, it's going to look good for them on the attacker side. But the other two that I've mentioned are currently doing their job.
Big investment with the Owl drone in the pistol, but it does net them the information they need. Catching a glimpse of the two on short. Aggressive at double doors. Is he going to push through that dark cover? I'm just wondering, because he needs to get the wrap around here. As they are all stacked in short, it's going to be Jbzzz that's going to be busy. Caught a glimpse just of Cho before he peeked out there on the Cypher. The paint shells go down. It does a lot of damage on Cho. It does get McCoy down. And that stopped them dead. Also, their shots just rattled through and caught the back end of Boo as well, of the spike carrier. Now look what Maiden's got himself tucked in a position that will catch him off guard.
But they're rotating out. So they have two players rotating back towards B side. One guy pushed all the way towards garage entrance. They should know it's happening towards A, so I'm not sure why they're still rotating over this this B site. Nonetheless, though, Jbzzz still goes to work, gets the first kill onto Cho, traded out by Boo. The rotate's coming up quick, so Passe has to stay alive as long as he can, and he does his job. Doesn't even need his teammates.
Simply just loses Jbzzz. That's the only man going down, and that's grim. I got to be honest. For Nolpenki, I think Jbzzz may look to strengthen this. They're going to be pulling out the Marshall. Passe looking very good over on the A site. You know, it's been a while, and I still think Sova's kind of like the underrated agent at the moment. I know a lot of people have been talking about it for a long time, but the information, especially on the defensive side, you know, information you can gather and the delay, effectively, with the shock bolts, etc., that you can do, completely stop them dead.
Yeah. Now it starts off here. We did hear the dark cover coming out towards this garage. A pistol round coming in for the attacker side of Nolpenki as they are trying to walk inside B. This is something normal that we see. Probably once they're close enough, they're going to put a wall up and try to get a spike plant. But no, Qzin's just going to say, I'm going to molly in there. I'm going to spray with the Spectre. Because of that molly, people are just jumping around. He gets a hat trick on top of that. And Maiden Jbzzz sweeps up the last 2 kills. They win this round flawlessly. And that did not come as planned for Nolpenki.
It's one of the harshest things you can come up against. A molly hidden under a dark cover or a smoke of any variety. So you're pushing through, especially when they're looking for that aggressive play, pushing through the archway into the B site, and they're all thinking, why did we all just lose half our health? We don't know, because you're not looking down. You're looking at the edges of the shadows. You're so zeroed in on the focus that you don't realize that, wait a minute, I'm burning, and this is not good. And then obviously the spray down through it. So really nicely worked. That pistol gets shut down as fast as you like. But now the serious round begins. It is going to be a long play. It's a 1-for-1 trade as McCoy gets picked off, and that's a big one with the Sage going down.
Indeed, so that's no heals coming in for the defenders, but at least one also following for Reyna as the initiator on to Jbzzz on that defense as well. And that's going to give a chance now for the team to group up, but about to walk into a Marshall, actually. I thought it was going to be an operator from Passe. So now as they walk forward, the timing is a little bit off from that Passe player moving back inside that site. He's going to look down towards short, and that means that he's going to be out of position once we start executing towards A. This is going to be very difficult for Jbzzz.
Yeah, not the right weapon for the situation it's in. Doesn't even look. He's completely focused and doesn't even realize they're on top of him. So the spike plant will come in before anyone can even rotate into this one. A good start for Nolpenki on their first real rifle round of the attack. Now they Dark cover goes onto A-Link, and it's going to be heaven where the two push from Jbzzz and Kizian with a lot of work to do here. They're going to be seeing the first shots down in towards long. It is going to be Boo that's down there, who was the top fragger for them before. But in the end, Jbzzz eats the paint shells to the face. And I think this hold may stay strong. It is just a bonus, though, for Jbzzz. So anything they gain from this one, they didn't really invest too much into the round. So it's not too much of a worry for them. But Nolpenki will get their first attacking round.
Yeah, what we definitely want there for Nolpenki was not lose that many players, right? So they lost 2 players. That's going to be good enough because the players remaining could still buy for their teammates into this round here. So that means Loudly's going to be able to get a buy. We're going to have Miko that's going to be able to get a buy at the same time too. But Small Shield's actually coming in from Loudly, so I'm kind of surprised that he doesn't let Boo buy the weapon for him. Okay, so Boo bought it for somebody else, that's why. So Boo's down to 100 that we just saw, but Vac could still buy it for his teammate too, so a little bit questionable into allowing your teammates to go with Small Shields while you have full investment, full utilities, full armor for Jbzzz and an operator on top of that. Oh, what a rocket that came through there from that spawn side. I never saw that coming. That's new for me with the showstopper. Could have gotten that kill, but puts him down to 15 HP, so did the job. Passe has to fall all the way back. And the advantage here too is that they don't have a Sage, so no heal's going to come back up. Already low on HP. And they're still trying to debate. He ran back towards his B side saying, somebody switch with me, somebody switch with me. Went over to the link and said, okay, well, I guess I'm going to watch from Heaven's side. So a good start here for Nolpenki.
Hasn't netted the kill, Maiden. Got it. Oh, no, the switch to get the dark cover down. Yeah, I mean, if you're going to switch to do it, don't do it open into the window, into the doorway. That's as simple as that. Timing can be crucial. Loudly will get Hoppy down, but Kizian with the Bulldog makes it work, gets the one down, but that is all it's going to be, and well, we know Parse's got nothing to play with, so he's going to back away and stay with Jbzzz.
Yeah, so Passe is going to try to move forward right now with the operator, trying to look forward. But that clock is ticking down. Things are looking good here for the attackers of Nolpenki. It's a 4 versus 2. You still have Choke that's trying to push around and trying to flank. They're preventing them from keeping their weapons. Passe, though, gets a nice flake on that first kill, but they know exactly where he's at. Flying in the air is going to be the Jet of Vac, who then forces Passe to fall back here towards his Heaven side, close by. And there you go. Vac gets the kill with the Phantom, and we're now tied up 8-8.
Oh, he got it. Got the operator for Vac. And that saves him. He had 7.2k as well, so he can buy out for Loudly as well. If he requires it, they can balance out the money. And now Nolpenki, as you say, all tied back up. Got themselves a successful round, and it should be another as well with Jbzzz. They're going to go aggressive, though. Look at this. They're all sat at the gates, ready to go. Going to try and push down B and push out of double doors, it seems. So it's going to be a rush. It may catch them off guard. Let's see whether Vac does get surprised. He's got Loudly in support with him. Not going to work out. Passe gets spotted early.
Yeah, and I thought it was going to be possibly a Leer to try to throw out for them to push down, but it's just going to be body peeks coming through from the Omen smokes. And the first one to fall means that the other ones will just play it a little bit more passively and still continue with the crossfire setup inside Garage. Meanwhile, though, Jbzzz did try to test his luck towards the short A, up towards the spawn side, gets stopped. Hoppy, though, retaliates back. 1 to fall, but still 4 alive for Nolpenki on this attack. Still looking good here on the attack as Kuzian's trying to test his luck as well inside window. Tro opened up with 2 kills, so we did say that he whiffed a lot. Finally, he connects with these shots, so we could bitch at him less.
I mean, against the Nico, he gets the stats padded. It's just like, I'm getting kills,
hey man,
guys.
We'll take whatever shots we can get for confidence, right?
Absolutely. Got to help that confidence work out. I mean, he's been great the last couple of days, so I can't bitch on him too much. But Maiden the last man, just going to cruise around, see if he can collect a weapon and maybe make it count. Just spotted the one though. Doesn't work. Boo sees him as he backs away. 9-8. Nolpenki will get themselves the lead for the first time in around about 10 rounds. They get themselves on the board.
It looked actually super grim for them losing that pistol round in that second round too, but they are starting to step it up now that they have weapon and should I say money to work with to buy the weapons to make it now 9-8 in their favor. I mean, you can't ask for any closer game into this grand finals of the VALORANT Trovo Challenge. 13-12, 13-8 into Nolpenki and Jbzzz, respectively. Going into this map that's going back-to-back, back and forth in terms of scoreline, these guys really want that $5,000 for the first place. And it starts off with them trying to go for some information on the defensive side. One was spotted towards this A side as the Sova continues to push forward, actually. So they are slowly pinching through. We should see rotations and heavy cover now towards this B and C site. And that's where Nolpenki are currently walking forward.
No smokes down. Util's kind of used already. Dark cover will be available for Maiden, but nobody really looking this way. They're keeping the Reyna tucked in to try and use that Lear as sparingly as they can. And you can see he's ready and waiting. Spectrum coming, pops the Lear out, and he catches them perfectly. But Vax at distance. Hoppy did get McCoy down at the same time, but damage has been done. They are in on sight, but Boo gets picked off. And now with Kizian here, Orbital Strike forces them away. And it is just going to be Vac left standing in a 1v3. Tell a lie, Cho is still in there. He's gone deep, and Cho making it work. Yes, nice. That is surprising my voice.
Could have thrown the Neural Theft if he wanted to after that kill, but he decides to save it for later. So both of them with ultimates, 20 seconds left on the clock. We do have it popped here for Vac, who's trying to get this spike plan towards this A side. Rotation's coming by quickly here, though. Passe is already super close at the entrance of spawn. So is his teammate, as Vac is waiting now.
Switches to the Blade Storm, sees Passe coming, realizes the second man is there, gets the Cloud Tail down, can't manage to find it. Ooh, Kizian connected. A little bit there, but now Cho's rotated. He's got back into short. This should be the Nolpenki round unless Kizian pulls off a quick double. Looking for Vac on site, can't find it. The Blade Storm still running. And nice as you like. Vac coming into that hero mode that we saw him throughout the qualifiers, stepping it up here. 21 kills for him so far.
Yeah, this is where it could be good here for the attackers, because they have the Neural Theft to work with, but at least on the defense, they actually have 4 ultimates on their side. So yes, you can find some information with the Neural Theft, but it could get easily countered now with a Hunter's Fury and also a Showstopper on the defender side. Vac has to come up huge here as he's looking for a pick again towards this front B or the garage side, playing as the Jet, and he's jumping on the boxes for the short B. Nobody peeking out onto this side, though, as we're trying to battle towards C, and Boo actually wins the fight versus Happy.
Yeah, Hoppy decided to push down long. It was an aggressive play, but it just didn't work for them. And it's been something they've tried a couple of times, but it seems that Nolpenki may well have found their groove here. Maiden steps out and gets Vac down. The Operator destroyed, but loudly with the refrag and cover, and then the Resurrect comes through. It puts 5 back on their feet, but look at this. The hold, close hold. That's with the Marshall, right?
Yeah.
That's the Marshall double headshot.
Yep. It's so rare to see that. A collateral with a Marshall, both from headshots, and that came from one player crouching, and somehow the bullet curves upwards for a second kill there. So a nice shot from Passe. Nonetheless, though, like I said, the Neural Theft comes out, so they spot the last 2. But they also know that one of the 2 players does have a Showstopper. Whoa. And Qzian connects with a shot in the face of Cho, making it now a 2 versus 2. Sorry, I thought it was a 2 versus 2, but it was a 3 versus 2 earlier on. And now it's all up to Nolpenki to try to hold this pulse plan situation. Big flank coming in from Boo. Should be able to get this kill. He gets tagged. Oh no, now he's stressing out. The classic rings out, and now the back to the Marshall. It seems as though we've fallen back face to face at the bottom of the site. Mikko loses the fight there, and because of that, Boo, who was supposed to have such a big flank, panicked, lost, and Jbzzz on Marshall buys win the round.
He popped out the Showstopper. I didn't see whether it went into heaven or hell. I think he went into heaven, which is what forced Boo away, right? In the top there, but either way, this, I mean, that was a 5v3, and then the Kizian lands that one as well. And it's just those things where you think, oh, this round's easy, okay, got them, let's all get over there, bam. Round just changes just like that. I just wonder how much that's disrupted them. Obviously, they had plenty of bank to buy back into this round, but I just wonder what sort of momentum killer that was. A double headshot like that from a Marshall, it really can frustrate.
No, for sure. At least, though, for Vac, he did have 9,000 credits, so they are going to go back for this full buy. They do have the Operator ringing again for the Jet, as we do hear the Showstopper to come out. But when we're looking at kill feed, We're still waiting for the first kill, and he connects onto Cuzian as we are trying to attempt to move inside this B site behind a gong. Loudly gets wall banged by Maiden, but at least Cho goes for trades, but then Jbzzz puts it back here in the lead for the defenders at 3-on-2.
They've not got the spike down. They couldn't even get the spike down. They've rushed in so much, and it's just backfired on them. It has gone to a 2v2, as you say, and now they're going to be attacking from the same angle here. No resurrect. Nothing really available.
Oh, I like this.
Boo does now have... Okay, so he's got his ulti. Boo's got his ulti, so where's he going to go with it? Do they give him the spike? Do they decide to try and send it out? No, not going to make use of it. Yeah, I thought so as well. They should have baited it to one of the sites and switched over to A. But instead, they realized they've got in the site safe. And now they have a two-man hold. McCoy can go for the plant. They're going to cover off with dark cover over to the spawn. And then cover off the link from double doors. Or they're both going to shrink away to long. What they got? What they got? Okay, yeah, there's no smokes. There's no smokes for Jbzzz. There's only the Lear. Which actually makes sense. And it's going to have to be an open peak. Which is why they're trying to go aggressive on this one. If they can get the sprays, it could work. But Boo in the end proves to be the pivotal man once again. He has been by far the MVP for Nolpenki throughout this last three maps. 11-9 now. And economy-wise, Jbzzz are not looking good. We may be seeing match point here.
Amazing. So we wanted to see... We thought the pistol round was going to dictate how that second half was going to go. And seeing Nolpenki lose that pistol round was like, oh no, this is lucky so grim. But you said, like we said, we needed some players to step up. That third player that finally steps up here in the second half, that's why they're taking the lead so far. I would have liked when they had that 2 versus 2. The reason why is that you still have Sage, I think, probably used her heal, right? So she doesn't have any heals left on that 2 versus 2. Give the spike over to the Omen. Use Sage as the entry fragger. If she doesn't find any information, it's open. You could get the spike plan. If she trades it out, with at least Boo could actually ult all the way back to A with the spike, get the plant, and then play a 1 versus 1, where he's been a clutcher so far as well in some situations in his best out of 3.
Yeah, that's where I felt it was going to go, but Boo is going to be the entry man again. Hoppy does have Maiden with him, Maiden with the Bucky. Up close and personal and seeing if they're going to push through this dark cover. It may well work out for them. They do get the paranoid down and they manage to get the spray down. Yeah, from that range, the Bucky's no use as Loudly gets himself a quick double. And we're going to be looking at match point here unless something bizarre happens with the pistols for Jbzzz.
Yeah, we've seen it before. Let's see what happens now. So we have the Rays of Jbzzz in the with the Spectre inside the window. It's walled up towards the back. We have a Silver Arrow coming out too to try to get information there from Passe. He only has a Marshal. It doesn't ping anybody out, so things are looking very grim for Jbzzz into this round here. It should be an easy one. We still have a flank coming in from Cho at the same time too. Connects with the first, with the second. The spray connects this time. Reloads, gets caught as Cuzian is looking to save this Phantom for, or should I say the Spectre, sorry, for the next round. But he's getting hunted down, getting that headshot onto Miko, and then Loudly trades it back. But from that kill, I think that gave him the ultimate into the next round too. So that could help a lot right now for Jbzzz to stay alive.
Yeah, they need it. They need all they got. They got the Showstopper in there as well as the Orbital Strike, so it will hopefully delay them. We'll see what Jbzzz can do. Are they going to go for the aggressive peak? It looks like they will. Passe looks like it's going to be the man. He has not got an operator or anything, though. Hoppy, you going to buy a weapon, son? There we go. Okay. Does get the Vandal in. It's one of those moments when you hear it ticking down, you're like, I'm going to get a weapon, maybe? Anything? So Passe goes looking for the information and with the Cyber Cage down, catches a glimpse of 3 of them there and will back away and find it, and there's the Orbital Strike.
Passe, though, gets that kill. Orbital Strike does not connect to anybody, but it still at least spreads things out. Don't know why Passe still decided to stay behind the Orbital Strike. Now our Neural Theft is going to force Cuzian to fall back. At least he puts a molly so he could fall back on time. But that information gives enough. They spot 2 towards the C side, 2 towards A. They could get the res on top too and fall back towards his B side hold.
Vac back on his feet. They've drawn out a lot of abilities here to slow the rot, and they can, as you say, they can just rotate straight back over to C. Plenty of time, 50 seconds on the clock. No worries on this one. Is Maiden going to try to reposition, holding that double door still. Low on health. No Sage to heal him off. So now we have a 4-stack down C long. No one peeking whatsoever, no information. So Hoppy's going to be coming into this blind and realize, oh my god, there's so many people coming. He's going to hold the angle, sees the one, peeks out, gets himself the dismiss, gets across the side. Can he get the second? Looks around the side, sees McCoy, but McCoy seems to be on it. Hasn't had the greatest first 2 maps, but definitely been clicking heads in this final map when it counts. Kizian in on site, gets walled off instantly, and the last man in a match point round in a 1v2.
Kizian trying to move forward now. He is cross-fired. And now as he double peek, it's a first, and then Cho trades it out. And that means, ladies and gentlemen, that Nolpenki wins this map 13-9 and the series 2-1 to be the European champion of the VALORANT Trovo Challenge.
Haven was where it ended up going. And I gotta be honest, we questioned it. And even looking at the kills, you can see how spread and even it was. Nobody really going crazy for Nolpenki in the end, but they do take the victory and finally get that extra step. They got close during the Lava series when they played as Figure 5 and they had a slightly different team back then. And at last it makes it work. They had Gaxi in the team then. I think MBS is maybe a coach for them, not too sure, but either way he's listed in the roster. But either way, let's have a look at some of the highlights. We thought, honestly, with the 6-6 defense, and I think that may be the difference, right? It could easily be an 8-4 defensive attacking half for Jbzzz. And I feel they're probably going to look back when they look at the replays of the match and thinking, where could we have gone better? That's probably going to be the last 2 rounds where they think we should have changed it.
Definitely. I think when, more specifically for me, on that round that they lost towards that back of the site, Hoppy had a great position, right? He gets the 1-tap onto the Raze and gets the kill onto Loudly. But then after that, he still had 2 Leers. Never used them. Right here. Never went for a Leer for, sorry, wasn't there, but towards that last round, he never threw a Leer to try to clear out the site. His position is already given away. Might as well get the Leer out, see how many more gunshots he hears, so that he could count, okay, I have 1, I have 2, I can let my teammates know at least for that. Get that information, and then even hide in the back of the site so that his teammates could come with him to go for trades on the retake. So that was a small mistake that I found there on that single round that lost that round for them. But nonetheless, though, they still made it to the grand finals. They still secure $1,800. They still played very well for Jbzzz.
And I've got to give it to Nolpenki. You know, the fact is that 4 of the rounds were gone because they lost the pistols. They lost both pistol halves. And yet they still came out on top, which is tricky to do. You know, if you lose those pistols, you're generally giving up those 2 rounds. And to lose both of them can hurt you in terms of numbers, but they have managed to hold it down. Hoppy in the last round here. But Cho stepping up, by the way, stepping up towards the end of that game in the end and starting to deliver. He'd been having a torrid time in the defaults against Maiden throughout the 3 maps and finally was kind of let off the chain a little bit on the attack over on Haven.
No, definitely. I think, like you said, it was probably the nerve-wracking losses that they had for the qualifier, the Vitality Ignition Series, and now they have a chance for a comeback. He probably needed a few rounds to come into that, and now we see it. A long, hard-fought battle here for Nolpenki. They went 2-0 pretty much everywhere in the quarterfinals, semifinals. Seemed kind of one-sided with the exception of a few maps versus Mattistack. And then into the grand finals, it went back and forth in a number of rounds at least. I don't think the final score does justice to how close those rounds are for this matchup between Nolpenki and Jbzzz. But in the end, Nolpenki crowned the winner of the Trovo Challenge VALORANT in Europe. Coming up next, though, will be the North American finals of the Trovo Challenge VALORANT, and that's going to be another one that I'm excited to broadcast with you guys and broadcast with you, D-Man. By the way, D-Man, I haven't casted with you in like 15, 16 years, and I think the last time we casted together was Enemy Territory, I think. So it's nice to be back on the mic with you, by the way.
It was either CS 1.6 or Enemy Territory, and it may well have been Enemy Territory, I'm not too sure, but yeah. I just looking at this game, and you got to think of that extra time, first map. If Jbzzz had come out on top of that, it would have been 2-0 and done. And the second map wasn't even close. It was like, what, 13-6, 13-7 maybe. So kind of smashed it. But Oh, that's just the overtime in Valorant right now. Hopefully things will change in the near future. So we're going to go to a break. When we come back, it's going to be around about 20 minutes. That's about all until we move on to the North American Finals. We'll see you there. Enjoy your quick 20-minute break. Have yourself a breather. Let the production guys get themselves a quick pizza down. See you in a few.